Thank you for coming to another live stream, y'all. Another live stream. And listen, y'all already know. Before we get started, I want to thank my visor kings, my visor queens, and my visor honeys. But listen, y'all, I just wanted to say this. I'm telling you, boy, these haters, they don't want to see you be great. I went and I checked out to see if anybody was blocked. And do you know over 20 people? And I don't even have any mods here. You know what I mean? Somebody is deliberately just doing some crazy, nasty, conniving stuff. I mean, damn, this shit is crazy that you got to block somebody. I mean, Jen was blocked. Miss Parker was blocked. I mean, it was so many people, and these are the people that I ride with. These are the people that come over and hang out with me. This is crazy that somebody could just be in the background and blocking people just so they won't come into my live stream, just so my shit can be sabotaged. You know, y'all really need to be ashamed of yourself. Who's ever doing this shit? This shit is crazy. Then you're gonna wonder why some of these content creators are gonna be like, you know what? I'm not going live anymore. I'm not gonna go live if when I do my shit, it's gonna be put on private. That way I can just talk and pop my shit. Can't nobody come up, can't nobody do shit but just listen. You know? Or just don't come and do no live streams at all. Cause this shit is crazy. How can you grow your channel when somebody's constantly trying to sabotage your shit? You know? Blocking people so they can't even come in and enjoy your show. Now Jen I ain't never had a problem with Jen, never had a problem with Miss Parker. But because somebody did have a problem with them or something's going on, they got blocked. And a lot of other people got blocked. People that were coming in here just to hang out and chill. It shouldn't even have been like that. There's no mods here. I have no mods here. So obviously it's somebody doing that shit behind the scenes. I'm telling y'all, it's just getting too damn crazy. It is. And you're gonna be thinking like, damn, why are people starting to not even do lives anymore? Because of this bullshit. Because of this bullshit. You know? Yeah. Because you want to try to make a few dollars, but sometimes people just ain't gonna let you do that because they constantly want to sabotage your shit. And I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one. I'm pretty sure people probably notice that they shit is fucked up. People are getting blocked. You know what I mean? But it's just that this is just out of control over here, because some of those other ones, they have mods, okay, but this is a channel of no mods. I have no mods, so should nobody be blocked. But that just goes to show that the hate is real out here in these YouTube streets, y'all, and I'm just gonna keep it just like that. You know what I mean? This crazy. But anyway, so we're just gonna go ahead and move on with tonight's topic. Y'all already know. It's Sunday service, y'all. And please don't take this the wrong way. I'm not bashing any pastors or anything like that. But I'm just gonna just tell y'all how it is. You know what I mean? I'm gonna tell y'all how it is. And the way this shit is going, into some of these churches, and I'm not saying all of them, but to me, and this is just, it's just the way that, some people, well, some of these pastors, you guys know they're not real pastors, they're fake pastors. They are. They know a way to make a quick buck, and they use that, and they prey upon the people that's bonded, that, let me see. Let me just back this up. They prey on the weak. They prey on the people that's out there searching for something. You know what I mean? And I'm just gonna tell you the truth. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that all pastors are like that. I'm not saying that all, but some of them are. Why do you think that so many women that's in church and not with their men or their boyfriends or anything? Because 9 times out of 10, the boyfriend probably knows, or the husband probably know that what the pastor's about. And he don't want to have no part of that. You know what I mean? But there is some women out there that's lost. They're lost, and they're looking for a church home. But then you got sometimes these fake pastors and stuff. Yeah, they be out in the streets in their past life. They were drug addicts. They were doing this and doing that. But then when they went to prison, yes, some did straighten their life up and became real pastors. But the other ones figured out a way to make money. So they're now, when they went to prison, they still had a little con. But when they're inside prison and they learn in the game, when they come out, they're gonna be sharp. And the first thing they're gonna do is they're gonna try to go grab a church or something like that, because they know that's fast money. You know what I mean? And another thing, I'm so tired of people saying that, give God some of your time, give God some of your time. People think just because, you don't go to church, if you don't go to church every Sunday, they think, oh, you know what, you're not giving God any of your time. No, that's not true. Because as long as you believe that you have God in your heart and stuff like that, that's all that matters. That's all that matters. You don't have to go into the church in order to worship God. You can worship God anywhere. You can worship God in your car. You can worship God and in the privacy of your home, something like that. You know what I mean? But some people, some of these churches and stuff, they have these stipulations on how things should be. Like, okay, you should be in church. You should be in church every day or every Sunday. You should give God some of your time. You shouldn't wear this. You shouldn't wear that. But in the Bible, God said, "Come as you are." Come as you are. But then even when some people go to church, they get judged. They get judged by the people that's already there. And I believe that's why a lot of them don't go to church. You know what I mean? Because it's like, okay, you don't like my color of my hair, so now you're going to shun me from the church. Oh, you don't like the dress that I'm wearing because you think it's too tight, and your husband is looking at me, so now you're going to try to shun me away from the church and stuff like that. you know y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? And then, like I was saying, these collection plates and stuff like that that's being passed around in the church 2 and 3 times and stuff like that. Now I understand, one time, okay, and maybe two if it's something that if Nine times out of ten, if there's a band or if there's a speaker or something like that, sometimes the church have to band together to, to pay, to pay the people that came to the church for speaking and everything. But the third time to me, I think that that's greed, because God's love is for free. You know what I mean? God's love is for free. And what I don't understand is people look down on you so bad in the church. You're talking about, gambling is not right. We shouldn't gamble. But tell me something. If you're saying that gambling should not be allowed, then why are you holding church raffles? Why are you holding giveaways and stuff like that? To me, that's the same thing. That's the same thing. That's the same thing as that you're giving money to get a ticket. Just like if you was to do a lottery, you go and you pay your money for a ticket. Same thing. But like I said, some of these people need to not judge. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. We are all sinners saved by grace. We are all sinners saved by grace. But you got some that just get into their ways and just think that they know the Bible. They know the Bible. And some of them probably do, but then a lot of them fake pastors, they don't. They skim over their sermons and stuff like that. Sometimes if you ask them a question, they got to go back in the Bible and they got to look, because they can't pop out the question right then and there. Some can and some can't. You know what I mean? I'm just telling y'all the truth. You know what I mean? So that's tonight's topic, is these pastors that at one time, yes, they were out in the street, and they was doing them drugs, and they was doing all of that. Yes, some of them did straighten their life out, but then you got some that just didn't. You got some that didn't and went to prison and learned the game even more. Learn how to learn how to learn how to open up a church and try to get money. Get money the fast way. You know what I mean? Play on the elderly, play on the sick, and all of that stuff. You know what I mean? Because that's just the way it is. Church is a big business, and I'm just gonna keep it real. Church is a big business. You know what I mean? And the first thing they talk about is paying tithes and stuff. And like I said, God's love is for free. You know what I mean? Now, if they want to, take up a small donation or something like that, then that's fine too. But you got some pastors that really gets down on their members because of those ties. I heard a story about this lady. She was on her deathbed. I mean, thank God she pulled through, but she was really, really sick. And she asked the pastor to bless her. Pastor was like, "No, I can't do that. You didn't pay your tithes. You didn't pay your tithes. I'm not gonna bless you. You didn't pay your tithes." So that's what I'm saying. The tithes are more important than your flock, your sheep. I've always thought that the pastors are always supposed to watch over their sheep no matter what. You know what I mean? Especially if you got an elderly woman, and she goes to church and everything, and she does everything that she's supposed to do and stuff, and then all of a sudden she falls ill, or she doesn't have any food in her house or something, and and she goes to the church, and she asks the church, if they can help her out and stuff. 9 times out of 10, the pastor ain't gonna put no money in her hand. The pastor probably gonna give her a box of food, or refer her to a food cupboard. You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. And I'm not saying that all pastors are like that, but I'm just saying this is just this is Sunday service, and I just wanted just to kind of tell y'all a little about what sometimes some of these so-called pastors that were out there in the street at one time. Yeah, they was running amok, getting high, getting drunk, doing this and that, and then some shit happened, and they went to prison. Or some of them just straighten their life up. Some straighten their life up, and they started walking that right way and stuff. But still, again, you know church is a big business. Church is a big business. And God's love is for free. God's love is for free. But the way these churches are, it's like it makes people not even want to go to church, because it's like they already know that those people, some of those pastors, ain't nothing but just out to get people's money. It's not out to try to guide people in the right direction and stuff like that. They don't care. They don't care. The only thing they care about is it's money. And I hate to say it, but it's true. I'll put up some of these comments, y'all. Um, hey. Oh, I don't know. Wait a minute. Oh, join. What's that? Join back in when I get. Oh, okay. All right. That's cool. That's cool. Um, but and another thing, what I want to say, because like I said, this is Sunday service. Sometimes people in the church look at you like you're not living right. But I've always felt like this. You cannot judge someone. They judged Jesus. They did. They judged him. And that's one thing that we do with first thing when you go to church, there's always going to be somebody that's going to judge you. That's only because their backyard is dirty and they don't want nobody looking in their backyard because they're going to find skeletons, they're going to find all types of shit. But that person want your backyard to be looked at. You know what I mean? Because they just trying to hide their shit. They just trying to hide their shit. It's almost like this. I'm going to tell y'all just like this. If you take a clear glass of water, now in that you're going to see right through. And that's how Christians do. That's how Christians try to live. Some do. Now you take that clear glass of water and you look straight through it. Now all you're going to see is clear water. But if you drop just a hint of sand down at the bottom, okay? Now eventually, now we're looking at clear water. Now, some of these Christians, they trying to act like they live a good life, but eventually, once that water starts getting dirty, you're going to see it change colors. And sometimes you're going to see that residue float up at the top and stuff. You know what I mean? Because that's all their stuff coming up to the surface. They tried to hide it, but then eventually all of that stuff will, those particles, that dirt and all of that stuff, that's going to make the glass dirty. That's going to make it that you're not even going to be able to see out of the glass. You know what I mean? But the true Christians, the ones that's followers of God, the ones that's true, once you drop that sand in that sand is going to stay down at the bottom. You're going to be able to see clear through that glass. That it's not going anywhere. You're going to be able to look down and you're going to see that dirt. That dirt is not going to rise. It's going to look clear. You're going to be able to see just as crystal clear through that glass. You know what I mean? And just getting back to what I was saying is that some people judge you and their shit ain't even right, and that's how some of these Christians are. They walk around in church like, you shouldn't be doing this, you shouldn't be wearing that. Take that color out your hair, those earrings are too big, you're wearing too much makeup and stuff like that. But you don't never know what they're doing behind closed doors. You don't know. You don't know if after church some of those pastors or some of those elect ladies sitting down having a glass of wine. You know what I mean? But as soon as they get in front of the church and they get in front of, they're like, oh, you shouldn't be doing this and you shouldn't be doing that. And that's the only thing I'm saying is that, you know, I I love church, I love the Lord and all of that stuff, but I still feel like this. I feel like you don't have to go to church. You don't have to be in the presence of the church, in order to give God some of your time. As long as you give God some of your time, that's all he wants. That's all he wants. You don't have to actually go into the church. You can have church in your heart. You can have church just sitting at home, in your car or on the step or on your porch or something like that. Just give him some time. That's all he wants. You know what I mean? But other people look down at you and first thing they say, well, you need to be in church. Why ain't you going to church? For what? So people can judge me? So people can talk about me? So people could say, oh no, don't wear that colored hair. Oh no, you're wearing too much makeup. Oh, your dress is too tight. Oh, you need to put on lower shoes. Or those stockings don't match your outfit or whatever. No. I can be comfortable and enjoy God's word and have spent time with him in the comfort of me. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying, y'all. You know what I mean? Um, and a lot of people, they like I said, this is like Sunday service. And yes, I know a lot of stuff that that we do on YouTube. Yes, yes, yes. Because when we're in these YouTube streets, yes, we fight, we dirty, and a lot of us we do need that holy oil. We need that holy oil. But sometimes, hey, sometimes you just you get in there and you just say, you know what, God, I know that I'm not this type of person. I just know I'm not this type of person. But if this female or this male come at me one more time, I'm done. God forgive me, but I got to go in. I got to go in. You know what I mean? And that's just how it is. That's just the way sometimes these streets, this YouTube shit make us. But I'm talking about the stuff that's in the church. I'm talking about how some of these people are hypocrites in the church. Somehow some of these pastors are hypocrites, and how the only thing they want is your money. They don't really care too much about their sheep. They want to keep their sheep in order, yes, but best believe they want to make sure that sheep is given those tithes and the pastor appreciation and all of that stuff. And for the life of me, I don't even understand why somebody have to appreciate a pastor. You're not God. Why should someone have to have a pastor appreciation? What are you doing for me to appreciate you, to give you my money, or to buy you a gift? What are you doing? What are you doing? When my lights are about to get cut off, my lights are about to get cut off, and I go to you and say, listen, you know, my lights are about to get cut off. I need, $200. You can't help me. You can't help me. Or you give me $50 or $75 and tell me to do whatever I needed to do. But here I've been a trustful servant in your church, serving the Lord and serving you for many, 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 many years. You know what I mean? And then the day that comes when I need you, you're not there for me. You're not there for me. You know, I see you driving away in a brand new car that you just bought, you know, and I'm driving an old bucket. I'm driving an old bucket, struggling to put gas in my car and stuff like that, struggling to put a decent meal on my plate, while you go and you take your wife and whoever else out to Red Lobster or wherever, and I'm sitting home and I'm eating hamburgers and hot dogs or pork and beans or something. You know what I mean? Fake, 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 y'all. Those are the ones that you don't need. I don't care. I don't care if how anybody feels about it. I'm just saying. You know what I mean? Because this here is the real truth. This here is the meat and potatoes. Like I said, church is nothing but a big business. And every time you go there, it's always going to be somebody that's going to be sitting there and they're going to be judging. They're going to be judging you. And that's why I believe a lot of them don't go to church, because they don't want to be judged. They don't want to be judged, and they're tired of being judged, because the people that's sitting there acting like they're holier than thou, like they didn't do anything. You know what I mean? And like I said, there's sinners too. There's sinners too. We are meant to be sinners. That's just what it is. You know? And all of this repent, yes, 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 yes. But then you got some people that, yes, they repent. They know that they're not supposed to do something, but then they say, okay, God, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I won't do it no more. Then they repent. Okay? Then something else happens. Okay? Oh man, I shouldn't have did this. All right, let me repent again. But how many times are we gonna repent? How many times are we gonna ask God for our forgiveness? I don't know, but I just know that we have a loving God. I know that we have an understanding God too. I do. But I also know that we are sinners. We're filthy rags and sinners. That's it. But we are saved by grace. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's all. What was that? What did you say, Diane? I'm just saying, listen, this is your Sunday service, and and I just wanted to just give y'all a little Sunday service a little bit. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just sometimes you want to just you just want to mix it up a little bit. But I just got I just had some things on my mind, because I just know how sometimes people are in the church. I just know how judgmental they are, and how they look at you, and how they look at you up and down. You know what I mean? Because it's like you're not dressed the way that they want you to dress. You're not looking the way that they want you to look, you know? And like I said, people they should be able to go to church the way they are, and be happy, and do, if you're going to give God some of your time, okay, that's fine. Because sometimes people might be like, no, I'm going to go into the house of the Lord. But I'm trying to tell you is that as long as you give God some of your time, I don't care where it's at. It could be inside the church or outside the church. You know what I mean? And then you got some people that's pushing, Bible on you and stuff like that, pushing this, pushing their beliefs. But if it's something that I don't believe in, don't make me believe. If that's what you believe in, then that's what you believe in. That's another thing I don't like about people, because I feel like this. Your thoughts should be your thoughts. Your beliefs should be your beliefs. Don't make me see the same thing as you, because it's not like that, especially if I don't see it. Now, if I see it, then I'd be like, yeah, I definitely see that. I definitely see that. Yep, yep. But if I say, well, you know what? You have your beliefs and I have mine, that person would be like, but your beliefs are wrong. But why is my beliefs wrong, but yours is right? No, 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 no. It don't work like that. You have your beliefs and let me have my beliefs. But the way the church is, the way how some of these fake pastors or some of these elect people, the elect ladies, no, you're going to see it their way, because that's the way they see it, and that's the way they're going to try to make you see it. But you might be like, no, I don't see it that way. I'm sorry, I don't see it that way. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then they start acting, kind of like giving you the up and down look, like, you don't believe in God. Why are you even here? Why are you even coming to church? This and that. You do all this and that. You don't believe in this. You don't. No, 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 no. I could stay home. I could stay home and grab my Bible and sit here and hold church, and or give God some of my time and talk to God, and talk to God. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. You know what I mean? Whatever you need from him, all you got to do is ask. That's all he's waiting for. He ain't waiting. That's all he's waiting for. All you got to do is ask and be sincere about it. He will give it to you. But don't think for a minute. Don't think for a minute. Just because you ask him, he's going to give it to you right away. Because see, that's where a lot of us mess up at, because we think because we ask God for something, we think that God is going to deliver it to us right there, that second, that night. No, it ain't on you. It ain't on you. No, no. When God is ready to give it to you, he's going to give it to you in his time, not yours. Not yours. And even though that's what we want, yeah, that's what we want. God, I want to, I want to be a better person. I want to grow my business. I want to make money and this and that. And I need to do this right now. I need you to help me with this right now. Then all of a sudden, it's like, it don't happen. It don't happen. Then a couple of days go by and you be like, geez, you know, I asked God for it. I asked God, and He still didn't deliver. Okay, what's going on? Then a month go by and be like, dang, I'm still running into these problems. I pray every night. I ask God, but He just, do He even hear me? God, do you even hear me? You know I'm asking for these things. Why aren't you giving them to me? I'm gonna tell you why. It's only because it's not time yet. It's not time. It's not time. He feels that when it's time, he's going to give it to you. If it's not time, if he don't feel that it's time, he is not going to give it to you. You know, first of all, what he's probably trying to see if you're worthy of it. If you're not worthy of it, you could hang it up. He is not going to give it to you. He's going to see if I give it to her right now, then she's going to come back and he's going to ask for something else and something else and something else. No, let me see how sincere before I grant her whatever she wants. And then eventually, When it's time, when he say it's time, then you'll get it. But not until then. You ain't getting it. You are not getting it until he says. Until he says. Yeah. It's like a lot of people, they get, they get sick and stuff like that. And they thinking that these doctors is, saving their lives, and oh, these doctors saved my life. And then no, no. It's the will of God that saved your life. It's the will. It's his will. If God wanted you to die, he knows you just be going home. You'll just be going home. That's it. But when he's not ready for you to leave, then you're not going. How many times have people been in situations where something had happened and they could have died and they didn't? And they didn't. That's only because it's not your time. It's not your time. So when God say your time is up, then your time is up. But until then, you're going to be staying right up on here on this devil's playground, playing with the rest of us sinners and all of this other stuff until he's ready to call you home. That's it. I'm just telling y'all. I'm going to drop the link in case anybody wants to come. Are you okay? You praying in the correct? What do you mean? Are you praying for the correct way? Well, you know what? I'm just kind of like telling y'all about what is going on, and like I said, some people may have, they may have their their certain beliefs and the way, and that's okay. That is okay. That is okay. But I'm just saying that how we are, all of us are all sinners. We are. But we also judge too. We have a big problem with that. We have a big problem with judging others. I do it. And I know the next person does it too, because that's just something that we do. And I know that it's wrong. And God said, don't judge, because you would be judged harshly. We know that, we get that, but sometimes that's just the way it is. We judge. We do. We judge. But I'm just saying is that if you believe in God, that's fine. That's fine. And if you don't believe in God, that's fine too, because that's something that you believe, and I believe everybody's going to have to answer. Everybody's going to have to answer to their decision on Judgment Day. You know what I mean? And I want to be in that book of judgment. And if it's a question mark by my name, I'm going to ask God, what can I do to fix it? I don't want to be left down here in this cesspool of devils and sinners and all of that stuff. I don't want that. You know what I mean? I don't. So if it's a way that I can fix my wrong to make it right, let me know. That's all I'm saying, y'all. Huh? What'd you say? Miss Brown, this is such needed. Oh, this is Sunday service. This is Sunday service, y'all. This is Sunday service. You know what I mean? I listen. I'm just telling you. I listen. I'm gonna try to keep it real with y'all. I'm gonna try to keep it real with y'all. And today, like I said, tonight, I'm just kind of taking y'all back to the church, and I'm taking y'all back to some of these pastors, from the crack house to the pulpit, because some of them, that's where they started from. Come on now, y'all. Some of those ex pastors that's been in the hood, that's living in the hood and stuff. They had their bout with drugs. They had their bout with the law. And some of them went to prison and stuff. And then some of them, like I said, some of them learned the game so good in prison they became con artists. So when they got out of prison, they know in order to make a fast buck, they can turn to make themselves a pastor. And it ain't hard. It ain't hard. You really don't need no really big credentials to be a pastor. Come on now, y'all. You can get somebody else from another church that can ordain you as a pastor. That's it. All you need is a sheet. All you need is that certificate, and take it down to the city hall or whatever, and they put that stamp on it, bam, and then you go out and get you a building. It's not like you're gonna pay taxes on it. You don't pay taxes. Church don't pay taxes. You know what I mean? You can get you, or you could do it from your house. You can do it from your house. Look at look at how some of these pastors, they open their houses up and make them into churches. You don't have to go out and get no building. No, as long as you got a mouthpiece, and you know that people will listen to you, and you got a gift for gab. Oh yeah, you can bring them. You can bring them in, and 9 times out of 10, it's always going to be one of the elders, the little old lady that lived by herself, that only to have a pension, or Social Security, or retirement, and just kind of a lost sheep, and really tired of going from church hopping here, church hopping there, because she's trying to find a church home. Now this pastor sees that, and he plays on that. Next thing you know, she's giving so much money to the church. She's giving Social Security money to the church. She's giving her retirement money, and some of them go as much as putting up their houses. Come on, y'all. Some put their houses up. You know that's just how some of these pastors get. And some of these men, they see that. They see some of that, and they don't want to have nothing to do with the pastor, but yet they don't want to disrespect the pastor either. So I believe that's why a lot of them stay back. A lot of them stay back, and they try not to get involved, but they know that when it comes down to the get down, they know that pastor ain't doing nothing but trying to con a little old lady, or an elderly lady, or senior out of her money, whether, like I said, her pension, her retirement money, or whatever, and keep on contributing to the church. Keep those ties going, and she could be, like I said, lady could be in there for many years, many years, trustful servant. You know what I mean? And believe me, some pastors are so good to where they would even come in and wreck up your doggone household. Because if you're giving to the church, pastor ain't gonna let that go. Pastor's not gonna let that go. You know what I mean? And you're so tied up. See, some of them are so brainwashed by some of these fake pastors. They're willing to leave their household. They're willing to leave their loved ones because this pastor done got their head all messed up. Thinking that, what? Pastor say, well, you know what? I love you. Ain't nobody gonna love you like me. I'm gonna watch out for you. This and that. Your family was never there for you. Remember what they did to you a long time ago. And I'm gonna be there for you. This and that. And that's going to get that person thinking like, you know what? You right, Pastor. You really right. You know, um, you were always there for me, and this and that, this and that. And next thing you know, pastor will be like, well, you know what? Yeah, you're gonna pay your membership, right? You're gonna pay. Okay, so right now you gotta pay your membership, you gotta pay your tithes. We got pastor appreciation coming up. We got the bake sale coming up. Now you're gonna make the cookies, right? Okay, you're gonna make the cookies, so we're gonna sell them, but you got to also buy some too. Even though you made them, you still got to buy, because we still got to put all of that in the church treasury. And then too, on top of that, we're going to sell tickets to the public. So as they come in, the tickets are going to be $25. They're going to get a plate. That's going to give them a plate, and they're going to be able to join in the raffle. Now the church is really making money. You see what I'm saying? Nothing but game. Just telling y'all. No, I'm not judging. I'm not judging. I'm just saying. I'm just saying that they're just kind of like, oh, hold up, sorry. They're saying that, hold up. What I'm saying is, West Adams, is that some of these churches are saying that, gambling is wrong. You shouldn't do it. But then yet they're holding church raffles. They're holding church lotteries and stuff like that. What is that about? Wouldn't that be the same thing? Wouldn't that be the same thing? I mean, people are buying tickets in church. Aren't they buying lottery tickets? What's the difference? That's where I'm going with it. You know what I mean? I dropped the link, so if anybody want to come up and say something, they can. They can. You know what I mean? Because this is church Sunday. So you got a problem with it? Come on. Bring your church shoes and your pearls on up in hall. Bring your church shoes and pearls up in hall. What's
How
going
you
on?
doing? Hello, how you doing?
I'm good.
What's up, everybody? I can't see the chat.
What you got to say?
Uh, which
What?
part? Like, where you want me? Where you want? Which part? Like, which
Listen,
part you
you
want me to
can
elaborate?
say, listen, this is church, this is church
Right,
Sunday.
right, 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 right. But
Whatever's
which
on
part
your
you want
mind,
to?
whatever's
Yeah.
on your mind, you can go ahead. You
Okay.
can go
Yeah. Yeah.
ahead and
Yeah.
say it.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna put it right here. You know when, like, okay, say, you know how the pastors. It is pastors out there that are deceiving the people, right?
Yes.
Say, like, even though they are deceiving people, right? They are taking people money and all that. They're not going unpunished. You know what I'm saying? They probably winning right now, but they going, like, you're not going to get punished for being deceived because you don't know no better. You thought that this was something that you know what I'm saying, you genuinely believed in. Now the person that's telling you this bullshit, they gonna get more punishment than you are on that
Hmm.
on that. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, people. I
Right, but
think what they say, God judges by our heart. So if you genuine about something, you mean, you coming, with all good intention, that's what he gonna judge you on.
right, and like I said before, there are like I said, I know that there are some good ones out there, but there's
Right,
also some fake ones out there that prey on the elderly,
right,
that tries to get them to go to church and stuff just so they can get either their retirement money or whatever they can out of it. But then
right.
if that person goes to the pastor and say, "Listen, my license is about to get cut off, or I don't have any food," the pastor is
Mhm.
not going to do nothing but refer that person to a food cupboard
Yeah, right. Or a shelter or something like that.
or
Something like
shelter.
that. Right. But I mean, shit. But in a sense, like, I don't know, like, it's it's okay. It's okay. You know what I mean? Because he gonna get judged for that when he could do something, he didn't do nothing. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
yeah, he's the one.
ain't nobody going unpunished for the shit that they do.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
he is the one. He is the one that's going to get, yeah, because
yeah.
if he represents. See, I've always thought that when you become part of a church, far as a minister or a pastor, you're kind of like God's right hand man. You ought to know better. And if you and you're going to be the one that's going to have to answer. You're going to have to
Right,
be the one because
right.
God's going to say, "Listen, you
Yeah.
built a church. You got your sheep. why
Mm-hmm.
why did you do that to your sheep? I
Right,
gave you those sheep."
right. And you use my words for some evil, so that means he working with the devil. I mean, you know what I'm
Right,
saying? They ain't not on God's side because they're using something good. They ain't not supposed to rewrite it and taint it or do nothing to it. They supposed to, give it to the people how it is. But now they don't. So shit, yeah. You know who they working for. You know who they working with.
right. Let me ask you something though,
Hmm.
and I know this probably might blow your mind, but if you have you do, if you do you have kids?
No. Uh-uh.
Okay, so if you did have kids, would you love your kids more than God?
Would I love my kids more than God?
Mm-hmm.
No. I would love, you know what I'm saying? Because if you love God, you'll love your kids the same way. It go hand in hand. It ain't no, you know what I mean? Like, if you love God the way you're supposed to, you're gonna love your kids the way you're supposed to, because God tell you how to love your kids. So it go hand in hand. It ain't, you know what I mean? Yeah, yeah,
Right, because you
yeah.
believe that we have because you believe that we have a jealous God. God is
Um,
very jealous.
yeah, you
He does
can't
not
serve
want
two masters.
nobody to.
He don't want you
Right,
serving two masters. Yeah, right. Hell yeah, yeah, yeah. So
right,
if you
right.
do if you doing his law, that's why people, some religions say they don't vote, because if they living by God's law, they don't have to worry about breaking the law or doing crime or doing certain shit. You know what I mean? They don't have to worry about that type of stuff because they living by God's law. So shit, yeah, yeah,
Right, but I also believe too that you know I believe that we're sinners. That's just it.
yeah,
And we're going to sin every day. But I think the most important thing is that we have to repent. But I know that some of us, I mean, how many times do we got? how many times do we got to repent? I know God probably like, geez, all right, yeah,
We
okay, yeah,
not perfect though. We not perfect. He don't expect us to be perfect.
right,
He just expect us to work. Keep on trying. As long as you keep trying and never give up. You know what I'm saying? That like that shows. You know what I'm saying? You don't give in to the bullshit. You don't. You know what I mean? You could probably be fucking up your whole life type deal, but you trying to get it right.
right,
Shit,
exactly,
yeah, you know what I mean? Or you could be a motherfucker just on earth doing bullshit and just like, fuck it, I'm a demon on the streets type shit. You know what I
right,
mean? Like, yeah, hell yeah, he look at all that. He judge
right,
your heart. That your heart don't lie. Your heart don't really lie to you. You know what I'm saying? Too much.
exactly.
Yeah, that's how he judge you. Yeah,
Right, right,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
But another problem that I see, into like some of these churches and stuff like that, is more like the collection plate. Now I understand that the collection plate go around one time or maybe two, but you got some that want to go around 3 and 4 times. I don't
Yeah.
like that. I have a problem with that because then I feel that it's just the part. Why are you being greedy like that? It's like they
Uh,
giving you, but then you keep
yeah.
coming back and they say, well, you know what? We don't care if if you got $1 or $2,
Right.
both
Right.
sides will take anything.
I mean, because you gotta think about it too, though. For a legit like a church, they money is based on the collection plates and donations and shit. They don't get no money for owning a church. You know what I'm saying? They get that's how they get their money. So yeah, people misuse that type of shit. They abuse it and misuse it. You know what I mean?
Right,
Yeah,
exactly. And that's where,
yeah,
that's why I'm like, you know what? I don't like that. I don't
yeah,
like that. I feel like, okay, all right, if you're gonna pass that collection plate, then okay, I can understand, one time, okay, that's normal. 2 times, all right. But when you go around 3 and 4 times, it's like, wait a minute.
yeah,
It's like, what can you come back and say? And most pastors, they say the same thing. If you could just dig just a little bit more deeper in that pocketbook, just a little bit,
yeah.
you know.
They got their scandalous ones. They got scandalous ones. Like, and they got good ones type deal. You know what I'm saying? It's just on you, on who you. You
But
know what I'm saying?
what about this pastor that would not bless this woman because she didn't pay her tithes? She asked the pastor for communion, and because she was sick, and asked the
Right.
pastor to bless. The pastor was like, "No, you didn't pay your tithes.
That's
I
gonna be on
can't."
his hands. That's gonna be on his hands. He think he getting away with it now because he on Earth. But once he be, yeah, once the motherfucker bring it back out of the books and say you did this, and you got an answer for it, he gonna, he ain't run.
Right.
He only running so far. He only running so far.
Exactly.
You never get
Exactly.
away. You never get away from the shit that you done did. You know what I mean? You
Right.
never get away from it. It's just a
And
matter
I
of
believe
time.
that's why a lot of them. I believe a lot of the people that's good Christians. I
Right.
believe that they pick up on some of that stuff that's going on these churches, and they end up leaving, and they
Yeah.
end up church hopping, trying to
Yeah.
find the right fit, trying to find the right pastor because they're gonna know. They're gonna know if
Yeah.
they're gonna get along with that pastor when they first touch down in that church, or they're gonna get
Yeah.
along with some of those women. And most times, those women are in there. They're set in their ways, and they're
Yeah.
gonna judge you. They're gonna judge
Yeah.
your hair. They're gonna judge how you look. They're gonna judge what you're wearing. And stuff like that. And they're gonna make you feel uncomfortable anyway, and then you're gonna be like, you know what, maybe this isn't a good fit for me. I'm just gonna keep on searching for a new church home. You know
And
what I
that,
mean?
sometimes those be the tests that God be wanting to see if you really dedicated. You know what I'm saying? You'll probably stick through it. But you know what I'm saying? Like them be the little tests that he be testing you on. You know what I mean? Like that
Mm,
type of stuff. And those are the small things. You know what I'm saying? That you ain't even come here for these people. You come here to get a message, or you come here to get the word. That's why they tell you to read your Bible in church and when you at home. You know what I'm saying? And study when you at church and when you at home. And don't stop. Just when you believe from church, you're supposed to be in that Bible at your house. You're supposed to get your own
right. Do you
understanding. You're
think
supposed to get
it's
your own
like, you
personal
know what? I'm
understanding.
glad you mentioned that because it kind of takes me back to, now that you said that, it kind of takes me back to YouTube. There's a lot of doubles on here, and the double tries to stop somebody that's doing good for their page. They don't want to see you grow. The double don't want to see you grow. The double don't want to see you win. So therefore, he's going to try to sabotage your page, or he's going to try to just try to burn your subscribers, and just turn things just really messed up.
But
You know what I mean?
sometimes, Miss Patricia, we let the devil in, though. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes
Yes,
we
we
open
do.
sometimes we open the front door for the devil and let him
Yes, we
right
do.
in and give him a seat, and don't you know what I mean? And be
Right. That's
a
the
cup
only
of
way the
water and
devil's
all
going
that
to
shit.
get in. That's the only
Right,
way. The devil, he
right,
cannot get in no window. He can't open the window. He can't open the door. The only
right.
way the devil can get in is we got to let him in. And
So you
once we
can't.
do that, that's messed up. And that's the
That's
same thing
it.
as our good God. Our God is the same way. We got to open the door. He don't want to open. He doesn't open the door because there's not a doorknob on his side. We have to be the one to let him in. And the same thing with that with the crazy devil, because the devil goes to church too. The devil knows the Bible back and forth too. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's how I
yeah,
know that a lot of these channels and stuff like that. Some of these people, they're some of them, to me, they nothing but devils. They're nothing but hell minions, because those are the ones that don't want to see you do good, and those are the ones that's constantly trying to either sabotage your channel or try to
yeah.
burn it down to the ground.
But you can't blame a snake for being a snake. You know what I'm saying? Like if you get bit by a snake and you knew it was there, like it's kind of like your fault. If you see what I'm saying, like yeah, sometimes yeah you got to cut shit off at the head and you see it.
Right. Sometimes you just
Even if
right.
you cool with a
Sometimes
motherfucker,
right.
yeah, you gotta like cut them off because shit, you can't keep having a snake with snake tendencies. Eventually, he gonna do some snake shit.
Right, exactly.
He can't do
You
nothing else but
you
be a snake.
you're right about that, and best believe there is a lot of snakes. The ones that you probably thought that you could trust, that you could talk with. Those are
Yeah,
probably the biggest snakes.
yeah,
Those are
yeah,
probably the biggest snakes. You know what I
yeah,
mean? You
yeah.
know, and just like I tell people, man, listen, y'all better stop saying that y'all got friends on YouTube. You better say you got associates on YouTube. You know what I mean? Because they
Yeah,
nothing but
yeah,
snakes, grasshoppers on here, night crawlers, night owls, all of that.
yeah. Think
Just
about
ready
it.
to do, just ready
Pe-
to, take your channel down and sabotage any type of way.
People don't come on here to meet friends. They come on here to be content creators. So you got to expect that. Ain't nobody on here to meet nobody. Everybody's on here to be content creators. So they looking for shows any kind of way they can. So yeah, shit. You can't
I
really get
know.
too mad. Everybody's trying to snake everybody. Everybody trying to like, you know what I mean?
Right, right,
At the end of the day, this is not no, this ain't for that.
right.
Hell yeah,
Exactly. And that's like
yeah,
I tell people, listen, don't worry about what the next person is. Just run your show, run your shit the way that you want to run it and stuff like that. If the snake come, yeah, okay, you cut the head off and you just keep it moving. But sometimes it seems like even when you cut the head off some of them snakes, they either go back and try to find a new one, and they still be trying to slither.
nah, nah. Some them motherfucker, you never. I don't know. When you
Right.
cut
Some
somebody
they
off,
just don't die. You can cut the head off, they still swirling around and stuff like that. It's like, dang, you cut them in two, they still swirling around. I'm telling you, I'm telling you, this YouTube is just off the chain. You know?
but yeah, like in life, like you were saying, like in life, you never like. All right, everybody on earth, right? We never gonna get life perfect. We never gonna get it. We always trying for the rest of our life until we
Right.
get old. We never
Hmm.
master life. Don't nobody ever master life.
No.
So you can't really like yeah, we just practicing. Yeah, we just practicing. And shit, as long as your heart genuine, I feel like people got a good shot at getting into heaven.
Well, you
You
know
know what I
what?
mean?
I just see us as just having a dress rehearsal. That's it. You know what I mean? We're putting on all different types of hats and clothes and shoes and all of that stuff. And then when it's time for Judgment Day, God's going to be the one that's going to judge us. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, and he going yeah, and whatever you done did, you gotta be able to stand
And
up
some
for
of
it.
them is going to go to straight to hell, and they're gonna burn with gasoline draws on. Bet that.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what I mean? And he fair though. You know what I'm saying? When he do judge, you know what I mean? He fair. You know what I mean? It ain't gonna be
Exactly.
it ain't
Now,
gonna be
now I'm
nothing like,
I'm just saying now if he judges me, I'm just hoping that right next to my name He puts a question mark, and then give me a chance to do whatever I need to do to make it right. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to be left down here with the goblins, the hell minions, the devils. No, I don't want to
Every
be
day
with
you
them.
wake up, you got
You
a
ain't
chance
never,
to do
y'all
it
ain't
right.
never heard that scripture where God says that He remembered that we are dust.
No, go ahead, break it down, Miss Lickers.
Okay, listen, and okay, God said we made in His image, right?
Yeah.
And then in First Peter 3:12, it's either 3:12 or 3:21, he says that when you live your life, you're supposed to follow Jesus' footsteps closely. He ain't said perfectly, he said closely.
Right.
So if you live your life knowing that, okay, so you're supposed to live your life in a Christ-like way. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
when he said that he remembered we are dust, that means by him creating us, that he know that we are imperfect and that we
Right.
have flaws, and he know that because Jesus had to come die because and it said Romans 5:12 said that through one man's sin enter into the world. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So through Adam sinning, that's why we sin and why we imperfect and have everything going on that's going on today. And
Right.
then Jesus came as a sacrifice because it had to be another perfect person to be sacrificed,
Right.
to relieve us of our sins, for God to forgive us for our sins, and that was Jesus. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so God said you can sin unlimited times. What the thing is not to be intentionally sinning.
Right.
You know
Right.
what I'm
Right.
saying? Like
Exactly.
you
Exactly.
deliberately, like okay, like you ain't supposed to be,
You doing shit
committing
on purpose. You doing
adultery
shit on
or
purpose.
stealing.
Yeah, you doing shit on purpose.
Right, you can't continue to do something on purpose and ask them for forgiveness because that's
Yeah.
not what he's talking about. What he's talking about, like when you live your everyday life, we sin. He said we know we sin all day, every day. But are
Yeah.
you
Right.
sinning on purpose? Are you doing it
Right.
intentionally? And then coming to him and say, well, since he forgive me, I'm gonna do this on purpose because I know he gonna forgive me. No, he's not. He only
Yeah.
forgive
Right.
you when you
Right.
you know you're not intentionally sinning.
Yeah. Right.
There's
Right.
a
You.
difference.
Yeah. Right. Right. You doing it. You ain't got. You ain't know you doing it. You might lust.
Oh,
You
Right,
might
okay.
lust.
See,
You
right.
might
that's
lust.
not.
You
See,
might
that's
lust
see.
over
I heard it
somebody
wrong
and
then.
have
Yeah,
a mate.
that's how it goes.
See, I heard it
Yeah.
wrong because a friend of mine said he said no. He said as long as he's like we're gonna sin. We know that, but he's saying that as long as you repent as many times, God is going to forgive you.
And
Absolutely
that
not.
part is true, but it cannot be a okay. Listen, if you like, say if you went out and stole something, you did it one time and asked for forgiveness, but you didn't go out and do it again and again and again. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? That's the difference. And even if you got like some people have a sickness with certain things, and it's a becomes a habit or a sickness. So he
Right.
also knows that you doing that too. Like some people like to steal and get a thrill off of it. So if that's
Yeah.
the case, what you're supposed to do, you're supposed to work on that to stop doing it and ask him for help working on it where you able to stop that certain sin, but you
Right.
cannot intentionally just sin and
And
say,
think he
okay,
gonna
well, I can
forgive
do
you?
whatever I want, he gonna forgive you. That's not how it works.
No. Hell no. Yeah. You're right. You're right. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
But he do forgive us endlessly because he know that we are imperfect, and
Right.
and, and that's why he give us time now to work on it, because he know it's going to that no one, no matter who you are, you're going to sin. There's no way around it. You know what I'm
Right. We
saying?
never gonna get
But
it right. We never gonna get it right.
right,
Never. You're right.
not till we come into a perfect state. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So till then, it's just living your life by the commandments that he laid down for us to follow. You
Yeah.
know?
Keeping. You know what I'm saying? Just trying. Just keeping every day. Just
Right.
trying. Yeah. And
Right.
practice
Yeah.
and
You got to
practicing.
try
Keep
and
practicing for
pray.
the rest of our life.
Yeah. Right. This is like anything. If you practice that, you become good at it. So it's
Right.
another scripture in the Bible where it says that you're supposed to, put on a new personality. You're supposed to be loving, kindness, all the fruits of the spirits that
Right.
is God qualities like love, kindness and this and that. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to practice that. If you
Right.
practice
Right.
that, then you're gonna have a Christ-like behavior. You know.
Right.
And then as
Right.
far as
Right.
when you was saying about us judging each other, that's something that he don't like that at all, because it says like he without sin cast the first stone. So
Right.
none of us can throw stones at each other,
We sure
because
can
we
because I
all
already know. I mean I know that's one of my biggest things. It's like I judge, even though I know it's wrong,
Well, it
but
depends on what
that's
kind
just
of judging you do too. At the same time, are
Hmm.
you judging to the point to where you like, cause you can judge and it be okay, because sometimes people have some flaws, they might be doing something wrong and they don't see that they're doing it. You know what I'm saying? So you would tell them, like, and
Hmm.
that's doing it in a Christ like, loving way. You're not gonna be like, oh well, you know what, you do this and do that, so how you claim to be this and that. You can't do it like that. As far
yeah,
as judging. But yeah, that kind of judging is okay when you're looking at for somebody else's well being,
Right.
and you see something they do that's wrong, and you just want to bring it to their attention. Because sometimes a lot of people don't know they're doing certain things, that might offend other people. So
Right.
that's a different kind of judging. But for you to bring somebody else down, that's one thing you're not supposed to do. Like God said, when you say stuff, it's supposed to be like seasoned with salt. You know what I'm saying? So when you say it out your mouth, it's supposed to sound good, be good.
Hmm.
Not like he said, your tongue can be a two-edged sword. If you got a two-edged sword, you can slice somebody up. You're not supposed
Yeah.
to do
Yeah.
that.
You can
right.
you
And
can you can
that's
build
what we
somebody up
do,
or you can
Lord.
break
We
them
we
down.
slice a lot of people up with our tongue.
Yeah.
Yeah. And see,
We
and
do.
that's what's wrong. Like we steady instead of like, okay, like it's another thing in the Bible where God said that you cannot love him if you don't love your brother. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Or your sister. So
Exactly.
you can't even. It's nothing like when they had made sacrifices back in the old days. He was like, lay your gift up upon the altar, but go make peace with your brother before giving me that sacrifice, because he won't
Hmm.
even take it if you don't go make peace with your brother first. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? 'Cause he was like, how can you love me who have not seen, but you don't love your brother or your sister who you have seen? You
Yeah.
know?
You see him every
So,
day. Yeah.
right. But you
Yeah.
despise and hate this person, which is nothing like God or Jesus Christ, qualities or whatever. So it's just a lot of things. If like even if just half of us in this whole world did what and carried ourselves like in the way God and Jesus say that we are to, it would be like just so much better, because like, and you have to look at this, like people look at people and was like, wow, like that. Just like, listen, I was out the other day, and this little young girl, I knew she wanted to argue, what I'm saying, she wanted to start stuff. She was like, and I just ignored her, like, and the one guy was like, wow, you good at that? I'm like, I don't do kids, not nobody else's kids anyway. And I'm like, I wouldn't dare sit and give her the satisfaction and let her know she said something that I'm gonna argue back and be all out in public and embarrassing myself. So
Right.
when you see stuff like that, people look at that, and that like showing people like an example of like how you should be. And if and when we learn off of what we see other people do.
Right.
So like if just half of this world follow what God and Jesus say how we are supposed to live, the other half will eventually catch up, because you don't want to be the eyeballed out looking like, well, you're the only one out of a million people that do that. You
Right.
just
Right.
bring
Right.
it down this and that. So it's just a lot with it,
That's
and
why they
how you take
incorporate. That's why they push the devil. That's why they push God out of everything, and make
and
the
put Satan, yes.
right, right, make everybody want to do this type, the other shit. They push God out the way. So when you see everybody else doing this, you're gonna do it too.
Right,
Right.
right.
And,
That's
and that and that's how Satan is so powerful. And people are like, oh, I don't believe in Satan, the devil. Yeah, when Satan got through out of heaven, he took him and God through him and his homies out. He didn't go out by himself. It was people that
exactly
wanted to be, with him. Like, I don't want to listen. And that's how this world is. Don't nobody want to
right. And
listen.
and in heaven
The
he was
people,
in heaven he was one of the beautiful, the
He was
beautifulest
the best, the most
yeah,
beautiful, even more
and
beautiful than
talented.
Jesus Christ. He was the
Right, and
most
talented. But when,
beautiful. Yeah.
when
yeah,
God cast him out of heaven and he came down with the rest of
They
his
say
little
he came down
angels.
like a roaring lion seeking to
Yes,
devour each and every one of us.
yes,
So
and that's
that's
his
what his
job.
motive is to do, right? And,
Yep,
and but you know what? That's what he told God. Like when it came about, when God was looking at, I guess Satan had to be watching over Job, and he was like, oh, he was like, you're looking at my faithful servant. And Satan
right.
told God the only reason why he served you because all the things you bless him with. He was like, strip him of everything. You see, won't he curse
And
you
he's
to your
gonna
face?
curse you. Right.
Right. So
Right,
God
right,
said you can do whatever you want to my faithful servant Job,
Just don't
but
kill him.
take his life. Right. You can
right.
do everything but take his life. And you know what? That's something like I live by because listen, no matter what he give you, he say he give it and he take it away too. So if
Right.
you happen
Absolutely.
to lose it
Right. And
at
the
that
devil,
time,
right. And you see what the devil did. The devil threw swords on him, cankers and all of that stuff.
killed all
And he
his kids,
still,
killed his wives.
Yeah,
right,
He
yeah,
stripped
killed
them
yeah.
all
down
of
to
his kids,
everything.
killed his
So his
livestock.
wife was like, yeah, his wife was like, curse God and die, or
Right.
whatever. And
See, the wife,
he was like, no.
she was a nag. She was a nag. She was just like, why don't you just curse him and just die? That's it.
Right. And then even his two homies that came to talk to him was like, what you doing all this for? He took everything for you. Like, why are you still serving him? And he was like, that was just his faith. His faith was strong as heck. But
His
look,
face,
God
yep,
gave
it
him
sure
everything
was.
back 100-fold, a
Exactly.
hundred
Right.
times
And
more
he
than
went
what he
through all
had.
of that. He went through all of that
It was a
until
test of
God
his
spoke
faith
to
though.
him. Right. Until
Exactly.
God spoke to him in a whirlwind. And then he replaced everything, like you said. He gave
Yeah.
double his trouble.
Right.
Right,
Yeah,
and
double
so
his
that's
trouble.
like when you go through bad situations or bad times, God said look at it as a test of your faith. And
Exactly.
so like, will you stay strong or would you curse God because you go through things? And when you were saying
Exactly.
about us asking for stuff, you got to ask the right way. And then are
Yeah.
you always asking for material stuff or material gain? Because God said you're not supposed to ask for material things, material gain, because that is what make like we said, money is the root of all evil. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? So you're supposed to put material stuff on the back burner and put God before it and Jesus
Right.
before
Right.
anything. So when
Right.
you do that, you will receive blessings. You know what I'm saying? So it
Mm-hmm.
just happens if you live in your life right.
Right. In
So
his time though. Right, right. But I was
right,
telling people like in
and
his
when he
time,
answered, yeah,
not
when
in
he
your
answered
time,
you,
but
so
in
he
his
answered in his time. But
Yeah.
if you can't be patient and wait on it, then he reads your heart. He don't read our mind. He
Exactly.
don't go by what we say. He reads your heart.
right,
Exactly.
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 He's the only one able to do that. He can read our hearts, our thoughts, everything. So when you going through something and you don't have a brand new car, but you got a car, he didn't say he gonna give you what you want. He said he gonna give you what you need. You know
Right.
what
Exactly.
I'm saying?
And you're supposed
But
to
he said,
appreciate it. You're supposed to appreciate it.
right,
You're
Yep.
right.
supposed to
Like he
appreciate
said,
it.
you gonna have some shoes on your feet, but he didn't say they was gonna be Gucci. He
Exactly.
didn't
You
say
ain't gotta
none of
worry
that.
about what everybody else got. You just gotta
Go
be
on
happy
Right.
and
for what you
preach,
have. Yeah,
baby.
hell
Go
yeah.
on and preach. Go on and
And
preach.
right, and like that's like one of my mottos I always say. And the reason why I like, how people say like, I just always live very, I like nice things, but I'm very modest, with what I have, because you just think about it, you don't know what's going to happen one day. You know what I'm saying? To where your circumstances might be the same. So if you one of them people that's real flamboyant and stuff like that, it would destroy you because you always trying to keep this image for other people. You know what
Right.
I'm
Right.
saying? But if you humble and very modest, losing something wouldn't matter to you, because you know what? And I always say, as long as I'm spiritually rich and rich in God, that's all that matters to me, because nothing else can, like when you die, you gotta leave all that here.
Right. You
Nothing
Exactly.
can't
else
take it with you.
has no
But you
value.
know what?
Right. It
Some
has
people
no value.
actually, right. But some
Yeah.
people actually, even when they, even when they're in their casket, they, some family members. I'm not saying all, but some of them, they still keep on the jewelry. They still keep on this. They do all of that. But when
Yeah.
you're dead, you're just a shell. You can't. When you die, you
Right.
can't take
You
it with
go,
you.
it
But
said,
most
from
people,
dirt you are, from dirt you are, from
right,
dirt you
to
return.
dirt you will go, and here's the thing. Do you know that story about the man that God said, the man went to
That
him and
Jesus
said,
told
listen,
him to disown everything that you
right,
have and
take
follow me.
everything and get rid of
Yes.
it, and he was like, what?
And follow me. And he
And
was like,
follow
no,
me,
Mm-hmm.
and
I'm
he was like,
cool. He was like, I'm cool. I can't do that. But you know what? I just don't understand. I couldn't even imagine living in Jesus' time, because there would be no way I would not follow him. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't give a heck what I have. And
Right.
that's how I am now. Like, I don't need this and that to prove anything to nobody.
right.
Like, I know my life is blessed and I know
Right.
why. And there's no way I'm letting anybody take that from me. I don't,
Yeah.
not for no reason.
But the
Absolutely.
devil will
Absolutely.
try. You know what I'm talking about,
Yeah,
Miss Lucas.
it
That's what
it'd
I'm
be a
saying.
whole
We
lot
got
of
to deal
trying.
with right.
Yeah,
Devils are all around us, and they will try. They will
They
try us
never stop
every
working. They
day.
never stop working. They
no.
never stop working.
Right, right.
You know
He
what I'm saying?
always, if you serve God and live your life that way, that's his goal is to break you.
Right.
That's
Exactly.
his goal. He want to take as many people down with him. Because when
Yeah.
God said he gonna throw him in the abyss at the end of the system of things, he want to take as many people down with him as he can.
As
And it's
many
not
people.
hard because if you watch how the world has evolved, I mean, just from the time I was a
Right.
kid, and I'd
That's
be
what some
68
people
years old
are
this
though.
year.
Right today though, some people are
Yeah,
selling their souls
they
to
don't
the
care.
devil. Some people
Yeah.
are
Yeah,
doing
Yeah.
that right now. They're selling their souls to the devil in
Right.
order to
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
that,
but
in order to get
he
that
don't
big house, in order
understand.
to get that,
He
in
don't
And
order to
they
get
have.
know.
that.
Yeah. He
And
don't
and
have
they know
power
it.
over you. Y'all, you give Satan power. He don't have power over you. You
Right.
Right.
give him that
Right.
power. You
Yep.
Right.
know what I'm saying? You looking at, and this what they said, the eye is the most injurious thing that you can have because when your eyes see it, that's all that all needs to happen. You know what I'm saying? Because and that's it's a scripture where I think it was either Peter or Paul, one disciples. He's like, if your right hand is acting up, cut it off. If your right eye is causing you to sin, rip it out. And that's because those things it's like saying in a symbolic way that if you're looking at stuff that's hazardous to your life or whatever, if your eyes is doing that, you rip them out so you won't look at it that way to where it's causing you to do anything that's displeasing to God.
Right.
you
Right.
know
Right.
and that's what they
Yeah.
do on TV. You see the naked women, you see the fancy cars, you see just all this stuff, and they make it look so attractive. Like, okay, Jimmy, you got a TV, but do you have to have the newest TV that come out every time one come out? No, you do. No, you're not supposed to. Long as you have one. Every
Right.
new phone,
Exactly.
Right.
That's the
how
same
people
thing with the
they
cell
get.
phones. Right?
Yeah,
That's
I
the
just
same
said that
thing with
every
the
phone,
cell
every new
phone.
phone. Man, I keep a phone so long it'd be pathetic. I
Right.
don't
You
have
know
to
what?
have.
As long
I
as
just
you
want
could
a
text,
phone.
answer the phone, as long as you could text, answer the phone, and get calls,
Long as I can call
but
out and call
some
in.
people are
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
right, they're just more into that, hey, I want to have a better phone, I want to have a better house, I want to have
To
but
compete
they're
with
not
other
looking
people. To
at, hey,
compete with other
at least I
people.
got a roof over my head. They're
Yeah. They
not
not.
looking
They
at
don't
that.
appreciate that. They don't appreciate. You know what I mean? The shit. The stuff they got. It ain't nothing wrong with wanting more, but like when you start getting like greedy and selfish type deal, like then you going overboard. Like you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, everybody want to live good, but when you start stepping on people to get where you got to go, then it start. It's a different story type deal.
And you're not
Exactly.
supposed to live above your means either. Like
Right.
you're not supposed.
Right.
Some people live from paycheck to paycheck, but they live. Okay, now if you got to live that way because of that's just how it is. But you don't live that way because of material things.
Right. 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 You trying
Not
to keep up with
supposed
other
to.
people and shit. You trying to keep
Right?
up with other people
Yeah.
and look a certain way. Right. Yep.
Mm. Yep. Yep. That is
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like I was also saying about tonight's topic, Miss Lakers, about from the crack house to the pulpit. Now, what is your take on some of these pastors? Well, actually, they came from the streets. Some of them did drugs, but they're no longer doing drugs. What is your take on that? And then some of them either go to prison and learn more of how to be a con man just to get money out of the elderly. Well,
Well,
what is your take on
that's that way because like everybody, okay, like being of God, we all have a need for spirituality. That's why it's easy to hustle people, with the church and stuff like that because we all have a need and a yearn to be close to God. So that's how they can get you through that. But that's always been the biggest and the oldest hustle it is out here.
that? I
And you
know,
were saying
right?
like
Yeah.
not
But
supposed
look at.
not supposed to pay tithes because God said His word is free. He was like, His word is a life word, is free. So you're supposed to give it free. Anything you give supposed to be voluntarily from your heart. You're not
Right,
Right.
supposed to pay
exactly.
tithes.
And
Yeah,
I
you're
said the
not
same
supposed
thing.
to.
I'm like, wait a minute, God's love is free. I mean, why are you trying to get, pass the plate around 4 times? For what?
Yeah, that is crazy. That
Yeah.
is crazy.
Hey,
Y'all
Matt,
having a
what's your
beautiful
take on it,
topic.
girl?
Charity could be just talking to somebody else. You know what I mean? Just
Right.
just something simple.
Y'all
Yeah.
y'all having a
That's
beautiful
Huh?
topic.
What's going on?
Erica has sent me a link to what they got going on. I went over there, and as soon as I went over there, it was gone. I looked in here first. Y'all was talking some good shit. I said, let me look at what Erica and them talking about. I looked in 1, 2. I'm up.
Yeah,
No,
this is
thank you.
Sunday service. This is Sunday service over here. So yeah, we talking about, the
I
stuff
thought you
that,
was on some BS at first because you talk about crack house and all this other
yeah,
shit.
crack
Oh
house
yeah,
and pulpit. It's
look.
just
Oh
like
yeah, Miss
you
Patricia,
know
Miss
how when
Patricia.
pastor, huh?
This what I was gonna say though. Like in the Bible, God don't use people that's like already like rich or something. He used people that's street level. You know what I'm saying? Like he picked to give the people the message. Everybody he picked was like a regular person type deal. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like rich people or people of status for you to listen to. It was people that you wouldn't probably listen to, and that's who God was coming to give. You know what I mean? Having to push that word though. Like so, the people that be pastors and coming from crack houses, like shit, they can
He
give you they
used
can give
people
you a good
that be
message.
like your
Right,
like minds, they say. Yeah.
right. Like something like
Yeah,
you
they be
familiar
having
with
the
it.
strongest.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
What
Yeah.
Wes is saying is he used people that have the strongest testimonies.
You know what I'm saying? Who went through
Like
something, you know what I'm
that's
saying? He
willing
don't pick people
to
that already
battle.
got it. He don't pick people that live a good life and all that. He pick people that's, down there where people need to be saved at, that's where he get it, that's where he get the person from. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hmm.
yeah, hell
And
yeah.
then sometimes people from that situation might abuse that position. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? Then that's different. But it
Yeah.
was not, it did not start it out that way. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's just how it turned into.
It don't
That's
never
it.
start that way. You know what? People of God that start to abuse it, they really start to love. For some, I feel for some, they really start to love the attention and the fame and all the glitter and glam that come with it, and they get to losing track and putting stuff before God. That's where they go left.
And that's
Because if you a pastor, you supposed to just live regular and make sure the
Right.
community got what they
right,
And
need.
and then when
right.
you think about that, when they start loving, that attention and all this, they actually taking God's glory. Cause that attention is not them, it's God because you're doing God's work and those is people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I can tell you right now, like just like a mayor, a governor, a president, how they have a house that's already waiting for them, like the governor house, the mayor house, they have a house. God is going to make sure his chosen people have everything they need.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
It don't matter, like they
That's a
just,
fact.
in a bigger arena with the title,
Yeah.
with the official titles and stuff. Even if you a regular pastor from the slums, he gonna make sure you got everything you need. You don't go
Exactly.
without.
Exactly.
Like
Yeah.
they tried to stop me right now from getting everything I need. I ain't missed a beat. I'm
God gonna
living
always
good.
look out. God gonna always look out. If you know what I'm saying, your heart genuine, you know what I mean? You don't come in no situation fucked up trying to get over and scheme nobody and then
Not that I'm
you know what I'm
bragging
saying?
about
But
not missing a beat. It's a blessing. Because the way that they tried to just block and sabotage me, if God didn't already line me up, I'll be done with.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not sitting up here bragging. I'm just saying God been lining me up for a long time. Before I knew y'all.
Well, like we said before, the devil's always out there working. He
yeah,
never
The
sleeps.
devil never clocks out.
Right? He never
They
sleeps.
pass the ball.
Yeah, yep. He never sleeps. I guess that's why we just gotta
That's why
hold
we
faith.
outnumbered. We are outnumbered severely.
Mm.
And
yeah.
it's going to always be like that when it's good versus bad. You're going to always be outnumbered because the bad, let's just say they love everything that's bad. And we,
Yeah.
as good people, we be tempted too. We participate with shit too.
Oh
Because
yeah,
we outnumber, we surrounded. We in the middle of, like, say it's a donut. We in the middle of that donut hole.
we're
But do
more
you stay in the middle or do you come out of there like and go
No.
back to where you're supposed to be? That's the
Well, let
question.
me
right.
tell you that.
All you can
Let
do
me
is
tell
try.
you, Queen
Right.
Lakers. Like I just said, the donut, right? The donut is a cake. The middle of it is hollow. So therefore, if the good is in the middle, we already on clean in the middle clean. We're not a part of that cake. We're just in the
Mm.
middle of it, surrounded by it. Everybody know cake. Fat kids love cake. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
And they
Well,
greedy.
okay. I can kind of, yeah, I can kind of see that. So the
And when that
outside,
cake disappeared, guess what? We still gonna be in the middle,
Still
baby.
be in the
We
middle,
never was
right?
a part of the
Exactly.
cake.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. And that's what
Right.
God said when he said that Jesus told his disciples, he was like, I can't take you out of the world, but just don't become part of the world. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
He said
Yeah.
you can be in the world, but just don't use the world to its
And that's
fullest.
where the definition
Yeah.
come from of selling your soul.
Oh, right.
I
Yeah.
didn't hear a lot of y'all saying selling your soul until I said mine ain't for sale. And I wasn't saying that to be facetious or to play with anyone. That's just a fact. Like I'm not even
Mine's not
interested.
either, McAsh. I
Yeah, I'm
understand
not
it.
even interested in what y'all selling. Like I'm
Right.
here to
Me
hang
neither.
out, but please don't push your agenda on people if they not interested. That's all.
Right.
right,
Yeah. Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
think I'm gonna follow you. Like, who is you
Or
for me
think
to
you
follow?
gonna
Right.
bully me into doing it because I'm outnumbered.
right. Well, it's just like I was saying. If you
Because
listen
when
to
it come to God, you really never outnumbered.
Right,
right,
because God said
No.
no weapon formed against you will ever prosper. So long as
prosper
you believe that
exactly.
and remember that,
You'll
you know
be
what I'm
all
saying,
right.
you'll
Yep.
be all right.
Yeah, you'll be all right. You ain't supposed to live in fear and none of that. You'll be all right.
Exactly. I have no fear. Because this is not my first rodeo. I done been through so much shit. And only God got me through it.
Mm-hmm.
Plenty of times by myself. I stay by myself. I'm always by myself. My kids is myself. So I'm just saying that to say, baby, I stay solo dolo. My kids is me. And I said from the beginning, if you mess with my kids, shit will start to fall apart. That's the power of God. I said who I was. Y'all didn't believe me. God said those who come against me will start fighting each other. Therefore, I don't have to fight you, baby. He gonna make y'all fight each other.
Mm.
And it's 7:56 p.m. 7, that's a celebration. 56 is the age my grandmother was when she passed away. That's a fact. They're gonna start fighting each other before they get to me.
Mm.
Yeah,
And
it's gonna be a
They
whole
they
lot of
eventually they
fight.
eventually all turn on each other.
yep, that's what
Yeah.
it is. They
Yeah.
all, yep, exactly.
And they gonna just eat on. They gonna eat on each other. Like you know what I'm saying. They
That's
just
what is
gonna
gonna
be.
happen. And
Yeah.
guess
That's
Yeah.
what
what?
God
In the
said. He
end,
said a
in the
dog will
end,
always return to his vomit.
right,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Exactly. They're gonna
Yeah.
fight. They're gonna fight among each other. And that's
Mhm.
all people gotta do. Just sit back and watch how to take
And I
place.
did not.
Yeah.
To tell y'all hey, I don't gotta say to tell y'all the truth. I do not lie. I don't know any of y'all to lie to y'all, right? When they put me
Exactly.
when they put me in the psych ward, they put me in maximum security and they shot me up with a lot of needles. That's no lie. They tortured me up in there. And I still wiggled out of that before y'all eyes. I guess they thought because I said I was in a psych ward 15 years ago, and I said I was sober then too. That was something else I was going through in my real life before I knew y'all. I keep telling y'all, my life is like a movie every goddamn month. Every month, my life is like a new movie. I'll be just as surprised. What's gonna happen next month?
But as long as
They
you
thought
have
they thought
faith,
because I
as long
said
as
on
you have
YouTube,
faith, you will come
oh, I'm
out
gonna
of it.
keep
You know?
faith. That's my job. But they
Right,
thought because I
exactly.
said on
Right.
YouTube, oh, I've been to the psych ward. They thought we know what we gonna do. We're gonna put her in the psych ward, and you gonna watch God walk me right up out of there
Right
too.
out of there.
Mhm.
Yeah,
With a brand new coat on, smelling like Dior. What we doing?
yeah.
With
and,
hundreds in
and,
my
and then,
pocket.
like, long as
Look,
you know
look,
when
look,
he
with
ever do
hundreds
bring
in
you
my
out of
pocket.
something,
Hey, look, I ain't bragging to y'all. This is what happened when I left the psych ward. They brought me my property full of brand new gifts from God. A coat I
right?
just bought I ain't never wore before.
But just
That
like
that
God said,
Dior
do not
perfume
mess.
I just
Just
cologne I
like
just
God
got from
said, do
Macy's.
not mess with my anointed.
Yeah,
You're right. He said,
and then
don't.
I had the nurse put my
Okay.
anointed jewelry back on me. Yes, y'all took my
Do you
anointed
know
jewelry
that
off
God
me,
said
baby.
that when you mess with His people, it's like touching His eyeball. You
Man, they
know.
took
So
my
just
jewelry
imagine.
off of me. Put me to sleep. I woke up in different clothes. They stripped me while I was asleep. Oh Lord.
Mm-mm.
I woke up in
But like you
different
said,
clothes, rubbed my neck, rubbed my
nothing
head,
that
all
you
my
have on
jewelry
the
was
outer
gone.
matter. As long as you kept your heart pure in the inside, that was all
Oh
that
man, that
mattered.
shit didn't phase me. Nigga, if you took it
Mm-hmm.
off of me, it better be in my property. I know that. Everything was in my property, and the nurse was mad because I was like, baby, I need help putting my bracelets back on. Yeah, what we doing? Put this shit back on. Yeah, sprayed my shit on me, boom, boom. Nigga, 72 hours, they tried to pad me up, talk about you staying longer. No, the fuck I'm not. Today, the day I'm leaving. How you doing? Unlock these doors. How you doing? Unlock these doors. Let me walk the halls and get to know people before I leave. And that's just what the fuck I did. We had a sing along. We ate dinner. We went to all the rooms. I talked to everybody. Yeah, talked to the staff. The nigga, the little big white dude who was appointed to make sure I was on lockdown. He was like, "You ain't leaving today, shit." Yes, I am. Get my shit
Yeah, after
together.
72 hours, they can't hold you,
Get my
especially
stuff together. I'm leaving today. He
if you
said I
got no
wasn't.
strength
I
in
bet you I
yourself.
did. And they paid for me to get a ride home with the cab. Thank you. I felt like what's that? Fresh Prince. Thank you. Yep. Came back, went to the stores, had the cab take me everywhere I needed to go. Boom, back at the house. What's up?
Mm-hmm.
They on here talking about something mentally wrong. No, something mentally wrong with y'all. Cause I told you I was sober.
You know what? Anytime you change your life over and start talking about God, everybody was like, "Oh, you crazy," or "You think you better than everybody else." You know, no, I don't think I'm better than nobody because God,
I don't never
not
want to think I'm better
God.
than nobody else. Cause
No,
then
because
now you
God
act
said He
like you
not
God.
partial. Now He said He make it rain on the righteous and the unrighteous. He make the sun rise on His good and the bad. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So no, whatever He does for one person, He do it for a evil person. So there's no reason for me to think I'm better than you. It's just that I'm in a relationship with God, a personal relationship with God, whereas you're not. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? That's the
I,
only difference.
I already had a talk with God and my team. I had a talk with God and my team, and it was delivered to me that this was meant for me to take the time that I need to succeed. Let's put it that way. He giving me this quality time to myself to get everything right for the next level. Let's put it that
Right.
way. And my kids are in good hands. I talk to my kids. I trust that they're in good hands. I trust in God, number one, and He got them shielded and protected. That's off top.
Right. God
Um,
said that He
my
protected
kids are in good
children.
hands. I'll be up in here big chilling, even though I'm very surrounded by a lot of weirdo activity, and that's a fact. But it don't bother me at all.
But see, that's something I had to realize. Like I've been the first year I was on here, it was fine. This last year was heck. So I'm like, I had to like reevaluate that. I'm like, I had to step back from this because and like I said, when I say this
And
just
and
Lakers, it's not
everybody would
nobody else. Huh?
not to cut you off, Queen Lakers. I don't like that myself, But I'm just going off what you said. Like the first year was cool. The second year, like anybody with common sense noticed that something changed. Like
Right.
something just took like a straight left turn.
Girl, didn't it? It was like an atomic bomb went off on here.
Like we was going down a one-way street. Like every day you come back, throw up the deuces. What's up? Yeah, see y'all
Right.
yesterday. It was fun as fuck. Yeah, what's up? What's up? What's up? Nigga,
And
Mm-hmm.
today you ran into a wall. Like
that
when did
shit
that
came
wall
out
come
the
up on
blue
that
like you
street?
just came back one day and you was like, where we at?
Yeah.
Right.
Where
Like
we at? Who
everything is
is this?
different. The house is another color. It's a wall. It's a dead end on this street
Like we
now.
pulled
There's
up,
no out. You know.
it's just
So
litter
so
outside,
you know what I realized that I had to
like
do.
all the
I
rooms
had
is
to get
boom
off
boom
this.
rooms. What?
Right.
Miss
Yes.
Lakers, Miss Lakers, I don't
Huh?
mean to cut you off, but thank you. I got that. Thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome, baby. You know, I realized that myself that in real life, in real time off the internet, I don't entertain nothing in real life that's going to put me in a bad spirit or make me feel like that I need to do something that I don't do in my life. So it was just like I had to back up off something because like it's putting negativity. The devil find his way into your life, and he was on this app. You know, he made it all appealing in the beginning. You know, I'm like, okay, this cool. And I hadn't been on the internet before that, you know what I'm saying, on social media. And
Right.
so I'm like,
Well,
okay, well, it's cool. It ain't bad as, everybody say, you know. And
I
then all
hope
of a
it's
sudden, it was like, bam. You know
Mm-hmm.
what
I
I'm
hope
saying?
it's not a full social media takeover because social media is the new way of life. So I hope it's not a full social media takeover because if that's the
Well, I'm
case,
gonna tell you, this is a part of life I don't need to use like to
well,
its
but let
full.
me tell you, Queen Lakers, because it's bigger than us. Because even after
Exactly.
we gone, social media is still gonna control the world.
Exactly. But still,
So that means
I
our
don't
kids don't
I
have
don't
a
have to
snowball
use
chance
it.
in him.
I'm gonna use it to my moderation to where it's not harming my mental, my the
That's
way,
cool,
and,
Queen Lakers, but
and
I
that
just said it's bigger than me and you.
yeah oh trust me I know that's why I said that that's why I say I backed away from it. You know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
so it's only certain people I'm gonna go watch now. I
Hmm.
don't
Me
I
too.
don't want to be around this person or that person. Watch this person do this and do that.
I,
So
I look
and
in
what
on
I say,
everybody's stuff. I just choose
yeah,
what I step into now because we
right.
outnumbered, like I said, and
And
people
then so
can't
when I
wait to make
say
you look
that I
like you
won't fuss
tripping.
and cuss with nobody, and that's because I don't do it in real life. And then when you
Mhm.
start doing stuff like that, fussing and cussing and arguing something, that's not something that's Christ like. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna entertain it because then I'm gonna let something on the internet cut my blessings that I have
In
in
real
in
life.
life out, right?
Yeah.
Or make
Because
me
God
sin against
sees
God in the way,
everything.
Yeah.
God
right?
sees everything. You can't be on
Whatever
the
done in the
internet
dark
all
come to the
night,
light. You
but
know
when you
nothing,
turn it off, you be like, God forgive me. No, baby. It don't work
right?
like that.
No,
You gotta serve me in public.
Mm-hmm.
right,
You gotta serve me in public, baby. Don't serve me in secret. We don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
right. So.
Yeah.
I don't care if nobody say because she want no matter what you say do I'm not finna argue and fuss and cuss or nothing. So you know what? Just like in real life, I would avoid somebody like that. I'm gonna avoid where I feel like that I would come in contact with that. You know what I'm
And they
saying?
don't
Exactly.
understand. They don't
Exactly.
understand. I mean, they probably do, but just because I said that I'm a messenger and who I am, I didn't. Did I choose this task? No, I did not.
No, God
I
chooses
didn't
you.
choose this task. Trust me, I didn't. I just told you. Boom! I woke up and it happened.
God picks his favorite servants to serve him.
And it's 8:06 a.m. I mean p.m. here. 8. That's the month I was born.
God
0.
said
That's
no
the
one
month
can
night.
come
6.
unto Him
That's the
unless
day
He
I was
sends
born.
for
Come on
Him.
now.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
God sends for you. No one goes to Him. He sends for you. You're right. You
Yeah.
chosen by Him.
I did
Yep.
not pick this task. I did not. It's surprising to me. Every day I'm
But see, to people that don't know God and His Word, you do sound crazy because they don't understand what you're saying.
yeah, and then a lot of people already don't like the messenger. That's what it be too. It's
Yeah,
like God's messengers, they
Right.
always be
Remember
a
Peter?
black
A
sheep.
lot of them didn't like Peter either. So I
They
Yeah,
get
didn't
it.
like
God's
none of them.
messengers is
They didn't
They
like
didn't
automatic
none
like
of
black
none of
them.
his.
sheep.
and
Right.
then you have to think about it. God say He becomes all things to all people. You know what I'm saying? So no matter
Yeah.
what He got to do to get through to you, He become that. You know what
Eventually,
I'm
you're gonna
saying?
get it. You're gonna see it.
Right,
You're gonna
eventually
get it.
gonna get it. So when He
Yeah.
picked people that He used to do His Word, He know what people that you're gonna attract. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So
Yep.
and like He said, it's people of like minds. So you would attract somebody that have like mind as you have.
Yep.
So like I said, people come from all walks of life.
Yeah, I got some real
And,
weird
and I
stuff
and
that's
I believe
surrounding me
that
right now. Like
you're
the
experiencing the
intelligence
same thing
level
that
that
his
they're using.
disciples, that
Baby,
his followers
I
experienced
keep
back
telling
then.
y'all, I got my third eye is wide open. Baby, don't
That's what
do
I
me.
think.
And it's 8:08 p.m. right now. Two eights on both ends. Green light in the middle. That's a fact. It's 1:33 back here.
So if
1:33
you're
back
the
here. That's a
chosen
fact.
one, Messiah, if you're the chosen one, then that just comes with the territory because those 12 disciples had to go through endure the same thing that you're going
Yeah,
through
because do
right
you
now.
know Peter denied Jesus, and when Jesus came back from the garden of what is the name of that garden? But anywhere where he was at crying before he was
You
going to
see, they don't
be.
know I got so much
Yeah,
anointed stuff around me that you wouldn't even know that it's anointed just by looking at it. I
Yeah.
got so much anointed stuff around me, and where I just moved from, I had even more anointed stuff. So it's like it's soaked into me. It's soaked into me, and I still have more anointed stuff. Like I got so many anointed pieces that it's ridiculous. Too many
Right.
to count. So even if you think I have just certain pieces, a lot of stuff surrounding me is anointed. Anointed.
Mm.
Hmm.
But when
Yeah.
on the night when Jesus went to the garden, when he went to go pray, and God sent the angel with him because he was like, he told God, "If this your will, for him to die," he was like, "Let it be known." So they said Jesus prayed and cried so hard his sweat turned to blood. Okay, that's a lot of
I'm gonna
praying
put y'all
and
on
crying.
my speaker. I'm gonna put y'all on my speaker because they be making that noise above me, trying to
You
Oh,
said Jesus prayed so hard it
get
turned his
my
sweat
attention. So
into
that
let
his
me
into
put you
his
on my
his
speaker.
sweat and tears turned into blood. Okay,
wow.
and so listen, when he left there and went back to his 12 apostles, Peter was like, where were you, master? And he was like, Peter, get from Satan, get from behind me because
Get
you're
ye
going to
behind
deny
me.
me.
Get ye
You're
behind
going to
me.
deny me.
Right,
And he
right,
was
right,
like,
right.
I would not do such thing. I would raise my sword and this and that, that and this, right? And so
Anytime
he
my
was like,
device
when
is
the
on,
crow crowed three times, on the third time, you're gonna
He's
deny me
right
three
because
times.
they asked him. They like, "Do you know him?" He said, "No, I don't know him. I
Yeah.
don't know."
And he ran off and cried, but Jesus knew what he was going to do, like he knew Judas was
Right,
going to give him a
right,
kiss,
exactly.
you know,
Right, just like he
he
knew,
knew everything.
right, just like he knew that he put
it's
what was
good
his
to
name,
see you up
Judas
here,
in
Wes.
the treasure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
He
sure
yeah,
put
was. I
all
the
never
good.
heard
money.
Wes Adam ever talk before since I've been on YouTube. I never heard Wes Adam talk.
Right, right,
He,
Can
he,
Wes.
y'all hear?
Wes Adam.
this is
Huh?
my first time hearing Wes
Right.
Adam.
He put him in charge of being the treasure because he knew he
Can
loved
y'all hear
money.
me?
Yeah, we hear
Right.
you.
Uh,
But and what was the
I
killing part is that even though Peter betrayed, denied Jesus. Like you said, he knew his heart though. That did not stop him from being one of his 12 apostles, disciples. You know what I'm saying? And when he sinned, and look how good he did after that sin. He asked for forgiveness for it, and he went on to do great things after that.
Right,
You know?
right.
It's
You know,
136,
but just thinking
136,
back to
33
those
back here.
disciples, they
136,
died
33.
horrible, horrible deaths. Like Peter,
Yeah,
he was burnt upside down, right?
they were
On the cross.
stoned. They were. I know
No,
he was killed. I can't remember how to.
Peter was burnt upside down on the cross, I think.
He was stoned first, and he lived through that. And then I gotta remember. Was it how else he was killed after that? I gotta go back and remember. Read
I
it.
think, if I'm not mistaken, I think he was the one that got burned. He wanted to be buried. No, he wanted to, they put him on the cross, but he wanted to be turned upside down because he said he wasn't worthy of being on the cross the same way
Right.
Jesus
Well,
died.
Jesus. Yeah. Well, I call it a stake. Some people call it a cross.
I think if I'm not mistaken, I
Yeah.
think that was Peter. And then the one that was in charge of the money, was his name Judah?
Yeah. That's the
Judas.
one that sent that one that turned Jesus into the people. You talking about?
Right, for 30 gold coins or
Yeah,
something
that
like
was Judah. That was Judas.
that. Right, 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 right,
Judas.
right, right.
Yeah, but Jesus knew. It's just, man, the Bible's something I could talk about all day, every day. That's like something I get a thrill off of.
I know. I you know what? I love the stories. I do.
Yeah.
I love the story
But
of
then you
Job.
ever think about how long ago the Bible was written, how those same stories and examples and stuff is used for our faith today, and how just think about how magnificent that is. Them things he wrote about how our time would be like right now, what we living in, was written thousands and thousands of years ago, and it came true. We're living where he said people would be lovers of money and of themselves, and they would be blasphemers and
Yep,
murderers and adulterers and all these things that they would not inherit God's kingdom.
Ain't nothing
and
And
new
that's
look,
under the
we are.
that's
sun.
what's going on
Ain't
today.
nothing new under the sun. There you go, Wes. I love that.
right.
Yes,
And
ain't
I
nothing
think
new
we're
under the
living in the
sun.
times now of was
We
that
living in the last days.
Samuel and what's that Gomorrah? You know the ones that
Yeah,
remember
Solomon and Gomorrah. Yeah, Solomon
they
and
was down in
Gomorrah.
there
You know,
partying and
listen,
doing
and
all
then
this.
that's what you think about. Homosexuality went back all them years because remember when the angels went there to get Lot, his wife, and his kids, his daughters, out of there. You know what I'm saying? He sent
Right,
two angels in there, and Lot had two daughters, and the men
right,
of that time was like those handsome men to just come in there, let us get those men or whatever. He was like, I have two daughters that I would send out there and give to you. But no, they want Lot just wanted to save, everybody so bad. But God was like, no, it was just too much there.
right.
When Solomon and Gomorrah happened, when Katrina happened to New Orleans, that's exactly what it reminded me of. Solomon and Gomorrah. When he
Yeah,
brought that destruction on there. And then
yeah.
listen, his wife was exactly what I be talking about. They had to leave everything behind and go hide off in the mountains. Okay, go up to a higher ground. And he said, don't look back. So how many
Right.
of us
Because
would
you couldn't
leave
see.
back?
Right,
How many
right,
of us when God say let's go, he said it's gonna be a day when he
I,
holler, it's gonna be peace and
right.
security.
But you know
When
what?
God holler,
I
let's
have to
go,
say that.
are you
I have
gonna
to say
leave?
that. It would be hard for me because even though God
It
say
won't be
let's go
hard for
and don't
me.
look back,
It
I
won't be hard for me.
let me just take a little peek. And yeah, and
No,
see
not
where's
me. You got
Rome
listen,
Salt.
girl. I be doing 100-yard dash up out of here. Like I'm out. I'm not looking back. Can I go any faster? Like forward. I'm like, there's nothing in this world that I would long for to look back for. Long as
Right,
me and my kids I know is dead and gone, there's nothing else. And if my kids is living some way that they not going, okay, see you. I love you to death though. I'm out though. You know what I'm saying? And and
but
that's why I say I stayed very humble my whole life because I never wanted to get tied down with material stuff. Never. You know what I'm saying? I like nice things, but guess what? None of it means crap to me. If it meant
exactly.
if it meant that like today right now, if God told me I had to give up everything to show him that I had this unconditional love for him, it's gone. I don't care.
Right, right,
Because like he said that you're supposed to be rich in heaven with him where the moths cannot, break in or the thieves and the moth cannot break in and damage or take anything.
right, right.
So none of this stuff means anything. Like
None of
everything you do it's supposed to be and that's why I said I'd rather be spiritually rich than anything.
right, right, exactly. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And like I said, some people they they love the money. They love money more than they love God. And I was just saying, going back to some of these some of these pastors in these churches, they love the money. They love the money more than
Yeah.
more than they love the Lord.
They
And
got they got sidetracked. They did exactly what they preaching not to do. You know what I'm saying? They
right,
fell for the okey doke. Satan came right in and tempting them, and they fell for it.
yep,
And
yep,
see, and God remove you eventually, but He giving you time. Like okay, they can come around, they can straighten up. You know what I'm saying? He gives you that benefit of the doubt. But then the next thing you see, the church closed, they broke on, and this and that.
and
Because
that's
guess what?
exactly what happened to this church that I know of personally. I was going to this church, and I don't know what was going on with the pastor, but he wasn't doing the right thing. And eventually, what happened
God
was
said you can't. God
God
said
got
you
tired
cannot
of it.
lead.
God took that
Yeah,
church. God
because
took
He
that
was. God said you have to guard my sheep like you me. You know what I'm
right. The
saying?
sheep
So if
kept
he was
leaving.
not doing that, he
Right.
was not
The
doing
sheep
that. So
kept
God
leaving.
removed him.
Right. See, the sheep kept leaving, but the pastor wasn't going back to find out what was going on with the sheep. He
But
was
but
like,
guess
okay,
how?
one got
Guess
away. That's
how?
all right. I'm not gonna call him. I'm not gonna say nothing. Then another one left. I'm not gonna say nothing. See, and that's how some of these pastors lose their sheep because they
But guess
don't
what?
show
That
interest
what
in the
God
sheep.
say? He was like anybody he put in that position. If you make one of my sheep become lost, he said you are better to put a millstone around your neck and throw yourself in a lake of fire.
Woo!
That's how bad it is when you is put in that position to lead his sheep. and you cost one. He said, listen, he said that one shepherd that had 99 sheep, that he lost one of those
Right.
100 sheep. And that whole day he looked for that one lost sheep. So God was like, you lose one of my sheep and you come out better, like I said, putting a millstone around your neck and jumping into a lake of fire.
Right. And that
He
sheep
don't play
and
that.
that sheep got it straight. But you know the story that my pastor had told me, because like I said, he was gangster. So he said, because he made me believe, that this was how it went. He said that if the sheep got away, but what God did was he broke the sheep's legs and started carrying the sheep, so the sheep had to depend on him. And I was like, wait a minute, that don't sound right. Because it's saying that if one sheep got away,
I ain't never heard that. I ain't never heard that.
I'm
No.
telling you, that's how my pastor was. He was a gangster.
But
He's
you
like,
know
break
what?
the sheep
And that's
leg.
and that's
That
why
way the
God
sheep can't
tells you,
depend on you.
not to go by somebody else's interpretation. You take
Exactly.
his word and you learn it for
Yeah.
yourself.
You got to
So
get
no
your own
matter what
personal
somebody
understanding.
else tell you, right, come to your own West, man, we
Yeah.
can kick it all day.
Yeah,
I know,
yeah.
right?
You know,
But you
you're
know
supposed to
what
go to
though?
church and then you're
But
supposed to read
this
the
is
Bible at
good
home and
though.
stuff
This
like
is
that. You're
good.
supposed to
You're
practice
right.
it.
And then you don't even have to go to a building. The
Right.
temple is you. The
This is
temple is
church right
you.
here. This is church
There
right
Right.
you
here.
go.
The
I'm
church
trying to
is,
tell y'all
listen,
something.
church
Yeah.
is wherever like-minded people come to talk about and learn about God.
Right.
Anywhere that becomes church or
Yeah,
a
two
temple.
or
You know
more.
what I'm
Two
saying?
or
Where people gather you can
Yeah.
be in on the porch, on the corner, long as you talking about him and all of y'all like
Preach,
minds,
Lakers.
the
Preach.
same thing. That so everybody talking about, oh, you go to church. No, I don't have to go to church all the
She
time. You know what
preaching
I'm saying? That's when you want to just hang with people.
Miss Lakers.
So yeah.
You see what you were saying about the sheep being missing, and he was looking for a day.
So
No,
no, okay, so no,
it was a shepherd that had lost one sheep, got lost,
right.
and
Yeah,
like you're not
well,
supposed to do nothing
I
on
had
the Sabbath, and
Mm.
so God was like God said he like that shepherd that you got 99 sheep still here, but you still want to go find that one lost sheep. You know what I'm saying? So
let me
that
tell
just
y'all. I looked for my two sheep for a whole day. Yeah, and after that, shit started going left. I tried to tell y'all.
But
I
see,
looked for my two sheep for a whole day, driving around, faced by so many demons. Because I
mm,
went to several locations. I went to a different city, even looking for them. And when I drove to that different city, we drove through a storm. I say we, because baby, I'm not alone. We drove through a storm that night, and I had to stay focused to make sure that nigga I was focused. Driving through that storm. It was a whole storm, April 18th out here. Check the weather. It was a storm at nighttime, and I drove to another city looking for my kids. For the people who drove off with my kids, of course, I know where they live at. I went to their house, and when I went out there, I flagged down the police dude, and I was like, yeah, my kids is missing. Woo woo. He gave me an incident report, baby, but he didn't put out an Amber Alert. And then when I flagged him down in the street, he gonna say, "Follow me to a gas station." When I went back to my car, he was gone before I even. When I looked up, his car was
listen,
nowhere in sight. And I went to the gas station that I'm comfortable with, that I always go to. And then when he finally pulled up on me like 20 minutes later, he gonna say, "Oh, I told you to follow me to this gas. You can't tell me nothing. I'm from San Francisco. I ain't from out here. You drove off and left me, buddy, and thought you was about to have me on some bullshit, nigga. Check this out. I was born that night, not last night. I keep telling y'all, I am who I say I am. Nigga, my street smarts is through the roof. I didn't survive shit that a lot of motherfuckers wouldn't even be able to survive. I keep telling y'all who I am, who my rank is. Can't nobody pull no wool over my fucking eyes. It ain't gonna happen. You ain't gonna piss on me and tell me it's rain. I know what the fuck rain feel like, and I know what the fuck pee feel like. What we doing? Yeah, so when they pulled up on me at the gas station I was at, it was two officers. They didn't even want to help me put air in my tire. I said, fuck that air. Boop, boop, got back on the freeway. Fuck that air. Got back on the freeway. All the shit. Nigga, it was some crazy shit. When I went to the hospitals, nigga, I was surrounded by staff that had nothing but demon in their eyes. Yeah. When I went to General Hospital, nigga, they closed in on me. Yeah, they closed in on me at General Hospital when I went up there voluntarily on my own.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they was like, nah, you ain't got no appointment. Bitch, yes, I do. I know what my physician told me. She told me to come over here to nigga get my blood drawn. Nigga, I'm here. What's up? Nigga, when I told them that, they wouldn't even let me in. But guess who came walking up the hallway? A team of like 10 people. It was like 8 to 10 people surrounded me in the hallway talking about like, are you keep in mind, I've been going to these hospitals. I know what's up. I know what's normal and what's not normal. It wasn't normal that whole night. At both hospitals I went to a different county, talked to the Berkeley police, baby. They got some explaining to do why they didn't put an Amber Alert out for a missing 3-year-old and another child. This is a whole nother county now, baby. And the person who rode off on my kids live in this county, baby. So why y'all didn't do an Amber Alert, baby? That's why I keep saying this shit is bigger than what it is. And they need to stop playing with me because I keep telling them who I am. God is going to handle everything. He's going to expose everything. He's going to expose everything. I don't have to do too much work. He's going to expose it on his own. Yeah, tap on that. Tap on that. Because after I'm done talking to y'all, I'm going to put my music back on and vibe out. Because I know they be trying to distract me with these YouTube lives, baby. YouTube ain't where it's at for me no more. Not right now. I'll get on here when I choose to, baby. You is not about to You ain't about to think I'm a YouTube groupie where I just live off who's live next. Baby, if I look in on your shit and the vibe is off, let me get back to me. Because what you not about to do is marinate me with the bullshit, baby. I'm already marinated. I'm already seasoned. I've been seasoned. You can't re-season me.
Yeah.
You can't re-season me. My seasoning, they don't sell my kind no more. So y'all keep using this great value seasoning if you want to. Because that's all the government gonna season y'all with is great value. The cheapest kind. Baby, I'm seasoned by the best.
Well, tonight we over here we doing Sunday service.
On y'all
Try
like
to keep
y'all
down
are.
as much drama as we can.
Yeah, it's 8:26. That's a huge fact, baby. That's a huge fact. I ain't even gotta explain the numbers to y'all. But I'm already seasoned and they don't sell my seasoning no more. And there's a couple of us that got that seasoning on us. But shit, I can't tell who was who at this moment. Because sometimes the motherfucker be one way and the next way you see them this way. They riding this way, that way, this way. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I like to stay sturdy with mine. That way I don't never have no I don't gotta question myself too much. Like somebody tried to question me earlier. I ain't gonna say who he is because he's so sensitive about me speaking on him. Yeah, but he got big confidence when he be talking his shit about me though. Yeah, West know who I'm talking about, but I ain't gonna speak on him since he feels a certain way. And Father God, I rebuke the devil and all the devil tactics in the name of God. Cause see, when I feel that bullshit, I feel the pressure. I feel the pressure on me. That shit ain't gonna work on me. Because I'm going to always say, Father God, I rebuke the devil and all the devil tactics, all the devils. I rebuke all the devils and all the devil tactics. And when I say that, boom, bam, I get light. I get light. Father God, I rebuke the devil and all the devil tactics, the whole devil army. I rebuke the devil. I stop them in their tracks. What we doing? Amen. In the name of God, take care of that. How you doing? Then I get back to my business.
Yeah.
I keep telling them I feel that shit. But they think they got more power than God. Go ahead, do your thing. He gonna show you that he bigger than your whole group.
That's true. So, Miss Lakers, you there? Miss Lakers.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's just kind of flip back over. So, what did you think? What do you think the pastor meant when he say break the sheep leg and put him on the shepherd's back so that sheep can depend on it? I mean, is that
No,
isn't that mean?
no. I have never heard that. And God said nothing about No, because you're not supposed to. God says in Jeremiah 10:23, it says, does not belong to man to direct his own step. Okay, so listen to this.
I'm
No
gonna look
matter,
that up. I'm gonna look that up. I got my Bible thing right here because, like I said, y'all know it's Sunday service.
I never heard of no such thing as break that God want us to depend on another human. You know what I'm
No.
saying? Like
Yeah.
you said earlier, God tell you he a jealous God. So
Yes, he
why, if
is.
Right.
God tell
Right.
you that it does not belong to another human cannot direct his own steps? Your steps supposed to be directed by God. He's
Yeah.
your guide
Yeah.
to your life.
What was
Yeah.
that
So why would
verse?
he tell you
Somebody
Jeremiah
breaking up.
10:20 Jeremiah 10:23?
Okay, hold on.
Is it me breaking up?
Is that me?
No,
Is
I
it
don't
me?
know. Talk with Adam
Is
and see
it?
if I got an
Is
echo.
it me? Is it me?
It ain't
Is it?
you.
Uh,
And I don't see me
yeah.
moving when
Yeah.
I
You're supposed to
talk.
have faith in. You're supposed to have faith in God, and that's it. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Right. And he tell you to
yeah.
draw close to him. He tell you to be underneath his right bosom, in his arm, in his hand. And like he even tell you to grab hold of his right hand and he would lead you. So why would he tell somebody, another human, that he to break the sheep leg and put him on your back? I ain't never heard nothing. I ain't Wes Adam, you ever heard that? I ain't never
No. Hell.
heard that.
No. 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 I
That's
ain't
how.
And
never
you know,
heard that.
That's what I mean
You ain't
tonight
supposed to
when
have
I
no
put
faith
up
in
that.
man.
That's what I mean tonight when I put up that topic
and
when I say crackhead to the pulpit because he was out there on them drugs and stuff and I
And
just didn't
that's
like what he
exactly why
preached.
God
Something
tell
was
you
going
supposed to
on.
read the Bible for yourself.
Yeah,
And
they just there
see,
to
and
deliver
see,
a message. You're not supposed to follow them like the actual person.
right,
'Cause
right. He can't
everybody
even carry his
imperfect.
own dog on himself. How he gonna carry somebody else? God
Exactly.
carry
Yeah, yeah,
Right,
too.
yeah.
exactly.
Just
So
And,
that
because
was
they
and, and
preachers and
Jeremiah. You
pastors don't
said
make them perfect. They're not
10:23.
perfect.
That
Jeremiah
was
10:23.
okay.
Jeremiah
So
ten
the
twenty three.
Jeremiah 10:23 said, "Lord, I know that people lives are not their own. It is not for them to direct their steps."
Right. That's the King James version you reading out of, right?
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So if you go to a modern day translation of the Bible, it says it does not belong to man to direct his own. It does not belong to no man to direct his own steps. And okay,
Right.
now so if you can't direct your own steps, why God gonna tell you to put one of his sheep on your back? He's not gonna
Yeah.
tell you that. You
You're
know
not
what I'm
supposed. Yeah,
saying?
yeah. You're not supposed to follow
And
no
then
man.
right, and then that's another reason why God tell you to read the Bible for yourself and become to your own understanding of it.
Yeah,
And seeing that
Right.
yeah.
we all sat and read our own Bibles, nobody can tell you anything because you know what's in there because you have
Hmm.
read the Bible.
Right.
Right.
God
I
said
just thought it was kind of weird
he
that
The
said
that
his
truth.
that
The
he
word
truth
did
only
that.
goes. The truth is only one sided. Like it ain't no two different versions of the truth.
size. Right,
It's
right.
the truth is the truth. Like, you know what I'm saying. So
Right.
so when
God
people.
God don't have indecisiveness. You know what I'm saying? He don't
Yeah, yeah.
whatever he said he only said once, you know what I'm saying, just one way, his way.
Yeah, and
Right. You know what? I'm
however you
thinking
read it,
that
it's
he
gonna
got
sound the same
that.
way.
Right.
It's
And
gonna
you know
sound the
Right.
what? I'm
same way,
thinking
however
that
you
he
read it.
got that is when he saw the picture of God carrying the sheep on his back. He said he
But
let us
that's
know.
God
He
doing
said that
it.
he broke the God broke the sheep's legs so he couldn't get away. So that sheep can
No, that's
only
not it.
depend.
Because God don't listen. God said he wants you to come to him on your own. Nothing is forced. So he's
Hmm.
not going to make you stay if you don't want to serve him. That's your choice. He, we
Right.
have
Right.
we have free will. He would never do nothing like that to make you stay with him. You supposed to stay out of you supposed to stay with God out of your own love that you have for him.
Right.
You don't stay because he forced you to stay. Nothing in that's why Adam and Eve. That's why Eve was able to be deceived by Satan because she thought when Satan said, well, God, besides that one tree, God said you have everything else, but why would He not give you that one tree to eat off of? Because He know the day you eat off that tree, your eyes will still be open and you would be like God. You know what I'm saying? Knowing
Yeah.
good from bad. But no, she was
Right.
deceived. Now they say now Adam was not deceived. He knew better. He should not, ate from that bit that you know what I'm saying? And
But
I always think about
Adam blamed Eve though. But Adam blamed Eve because when they
right,
tried to hide in the Garden of
he
Eden,
was like that woman you gave me, that
right,
woman
that
you
woman
gave
you gave me, she
Right.
But see, and then there's another thing. God also tell you the headship arrangement is
Yeah.
God, Jesus, then man, then
Right.
woman, then child. So if
Right.
you listen to what God told you to do, when that woman brought you that apple to say eat this and bite it, that's why He said that Adam was not deceived. Eve was the one that was deceived because
Right.
Eve did not deceive Adam. She gave Adam a command and he followed it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And that's why he was wrong because he was not supposed to follow what Eve said. He was always supposed to follow what
What
God
God
said.
said, yeah. What God told him,
So
yeah.
yeah, God could have dealt with Eve, could have gave him another woman, did whatever he needed to do with her. But see, Adam was the one that was wrong. You know
See,
what I'm
I
saying? Because he
always
knew
thought that
better.
Adam. I always thought that Adam had a first wife, and then she, God got rid of her because she wasn't acting
No,
right,
no.
and then
See,
came up
that
with
No.
Eve.
God said He performed the first marriage arrangement, and that's when He took Adam, put Adam to sleep, took one rib out his body, and formed
And
woman.
right, and made Eve.
And that's what these women nowadays. And why I say you can be a female, but then are you? Every female is not a woman. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
You just female, and every male is not a man. You know,
You right.
because when you
That's
when
right.
you
Yeah,
are a
you
man
right.
and a woman, you respect the head. I don't care what you got going on for yourself as a woman. When you're in a relationship, that man is the head over you. You know what I'm saying? And when you make decisions between you and in a relationship, it's supposed to be, first of all, God. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be the first person involved in any decision that you make in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then after God, if you're in a relationship with a man, you're supposed to respect that man handship, and it's something, and he supposed to respect you too. He supposed to respect you too as a lower person than him. That he's not supposed to bully you or bring you
Right.
down or none of that because you're lower than him when it comes to the arrangement of God. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
if you
So
really serving God, you're gonna treat her right.
right, and
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
really
yeah.
serving God, that woman gonna respect that man headship. Now,
Right.
God don't say you supposed to listen to a man to where he gonna lead you down a path that's gonna mess you up. You know what I'm
Nah,
saying?
hell
You don't have
no.
to do that. You still can have some common sense. But all these women out here that say, "Oh, I'm better than a man. I can do anything a man." No, no, you're not better than a man because in God's eye, you lower than a man. He knows that. You know what I'm
right.
saying? So you need to know that too. You know what I'm saying?
But
I don't care
aren't
how.
we tempted? Aren't we
Boom.
tempted to? Like, I'm saying, far as that temptation in life, I'm saying some of the women, just like Eve was tempted with that apple. When when the serpent said, eat this apple.
You said it was what, Patricia?
Aren't we tempted like that in life? When
Yeah, we
the
tipping
Holy
like that,
Spirit
but
gave Eve that
do you
apple.
take it?
Do you take it every time though? Do you
Yeah,
give
do
in?
you
Do you
take it
give
and
in?
bite it every time? Every
Yeah,
time you
yeah,
see
yeah.
it, do you take it and bite it
No,
every time?
no, but there is some people that will, because the snake would, like,
Right.
he enticed. Like,
Right. But
this
see,
is
Yeah.
then that's why
it's
you're supposed to
good.
avoid temptation.
I
Okay,
know,
and
but
so
it's
listen,
hard though, ain't it?
if it's a snake always trying to get if it's a snake always trying to get you to bite an apple, then you need to move yourself around from around where that snake can reach you. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
exactly.
And so if that snake always coming to you, then you have to look at yourself and see what you're doing wrong to where this snake is able to entertain you. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? And you're
Right,
listening. So you doing
right,
something wrong in your life to where he's only there. That's why I tell people Satan have no more power than what you give him. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? And so and when you know God has more power than Satan does, there's God said you're not supposed to fear man. There's nothing to fear the man but fear itself. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Ain't
right,
nothing gonna happen that he ain't
Yeah.
gonna allow to happen.
Right. Ain't nothing that man can do to you that I cannot undo. You know
Exactly.
what I'm saying? So um
Right.
why? That's what that scripture say. No weapon formed against you shall prosper because God can stop any weapon.
Yeah.
That's all you have to know. Your faith has to be that strong to where no matter what I fear, this is scripture I live by. I fear no man, no woman, no other human being do I fear
right,
for no reason.
Right.
Because like God said, even if they take your life, he can give you life. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So long as you
Like
know
he
that when
raised,
he said
what's that man from the dead, and he was dead for what, 3 days?
John the Baptist.
No, remember he was dead
Oh,
for 3 days.
Lazarus.
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 Yep.
That's what I meant, Lazarus. John the Baptist was Jesus' best friend that baptized
That
him.
was his cousin.
But
That
yeah,
was his
he
cousin.
raised Lazarus, and Lazarus was his best, was his best friend or his brother. I think it was either his brother or his best friend. But
No,
anyway, when he
Lazarus is just the man. Lazarus.
no, that was Mary. That was Mary's brother. So that was Jesus' friend. That
Oh,
was
okay, okay.
Mary of Nazarene's brother. So if I ain't mistaken, was that like his uncle or something? I
Right,
had to really look.
because the one that did the baptism, I believe his name was John. I think him and Jesus was
I
cousins.
said John the Baptist.
Right, they
Yeah.
were cousins.
Yeah.
I think. Is that right, Wes?
Shit,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
not for sure. I'm not
that
for
was John
sure.
the Baptist. It was
Not for
John the
sure.
Baptist that married baptized Jesus,
Right,
because
right,
they said that when he
exactly.
got baptized, the heaven opened up and God said that you are my son, that I accept when he got baptized or whatever. And but do y'all realize when people say that God that Abraham saw God and all that stuff like that?
Yeah,
Do y'all know that no man has ever seen God? You know what
but
I'm
him,
saying?
right? But Abraham, right?
No, no. It wasn't this is what he actually saw. You had to read it and research it.
Let
But
me
what
ask you
he
this.
actually
Let
saw,
me just ask you one
yeah.
question real quick. Okay.
Uh,
Okay. If you've never seen God before, right?
uh,
How do you know he a man?
we
Somebody
don't
had
know
to
if he
have
a
seen.
man.
Somebody had to have
He's
seen him.
no, we just use the he because they
It
a
has to
man.
have when you say that it's a description when you say that he.
A
How do you
beautiful
know that?
comment right there. That is a beautiful comment right there.
He has a look to it. A he, a him, a her. They have a look to him. So somebody
But
had
how
to have
can
seen him.
he can't have a look when he's a spirit? He's a higher
AJ,
being.
I don't
And
know.
listen,
I don't believe
I'm
that.
just gonna explain. I'm gonna explain it this way. The only reason why I'm gonna say they say he because he was Jesus' father, so you can't be a father without being a he.
Who cleaned
No,
Jesus' feet? Who washed Jesus? I mean God's feet. Who was that in the Bible? What was his name?
didn't nobody wash God's feet.
Magdalene.
That was
Somebody.
Jesus' feet that got washed,
Right.
Okay. So
and she
okay.
dried his feet with her
Look, check
hair.
this one out. Check this one out. If Jesus is God's son and he called him father, somebody had to have seen him. I know how my
The
daddy looked.
the
I know how
angels
my
see
daddy looked.
the angels see.
Jesus was
They all seen God. No human has seen God.
look, Jesus was a human. He was amongst the
Right,
humans.
but he wasn't a human.
He was amongst the human. He wasn't no spirit or nothing. He wasn't no spirit or nothing. When they crucified him and all that stuff, he seen his daddy. He know how his daddy looked. Somebody had to have seen him.
that's a nice comment down there. That Agent Hudo 746 wrote. He said, "Why does the Apple logo?" He said, "Why does the Apple phone logo? Why does the Apple phone logo is the symbol of a bite out of an apple?" That's crazy right there.
Uh,
That's crazy right there because their symbol is an apple that's bitten.
mm,
That's
yeah.
crazy right there.
But yeah, though, I mean,
I like
they
that.
say haven't nobody seen him before, but I'm just saying I know how my father looks. So Jesus was amongst the people. He know how his hot father looks. So somebody had to have seen him. That proves that somebody seen him before. He seen it. If didn't nobody else see him, he seen his daddy before. So he know how he looked. He know how he looked. You know what I'm saying? If he made in his image and likeness, how? If he, you know what I'm saying? How? He had to have the same. Me and my daddy got the same nose. You know what I'm saying? Like me and my daddy got the same nose. He had some of his facial features and structure and all that type of stuff too.
Right. Yeah, Jesus did know his
Yeah,
father
I
because
Somebody
understand what
knew
they
you're
was
how he
saying
looked.
though,
contradicting.
Somebody knew
but
how. You know what I'm saying?
Abraham, yeah, Jesus seen God. Jesus knew. Jesus came from a spirit. He came from God when he put him in Mary. He came from God. He was with God. Do you know that it's a scripture saying in the Bible that Jesus was God, master worker? Do you know actually listen? Do you know actually God was not the creator of everything? You know it was Jesus doing the work for God, right?
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Like, he was doing a lot of. Yeah. Yeah.
Because
That's what his
spirit
position
of
was. That don't. He
God
wasn't
Almighty,
God though. He was just the footwork. You know what I mean?
that's
Like
the vessel.
yeah.
Yeah.
I know that. I know that. I know that. That's why he always say,
Like
giving
it's
glory to
like
God.
Jesus
Like, don't
say,
thank
you
me,
know, if
thank
you want to
God.
know my father, look at me. When you see me, you see my father.
But
Come
it's
on.
like, God have so many soldiers that, you know, like he have a lot of high
But
appointed
hold up,
ones too.
listen. Y'all know who my favorite angel is though? Gabriel. Gabriel was that bout angel. You know what I'm saying? Like when God destroyed that 185,000 people, he sent Gabriel, and Gabriel did it like they came like a thief in the night and killed
Yeah.
their whole army. One blow, boom, and they was out. Every time it was something need doing, Gabriel went and did it. He was
Hey,
the gangster.
you know where they say Sodom and Gomorrah was actually at in Africa, like the piece of land. It don't no food don't even
No
grow
one
there.
still live there. It's still not. Listen, God said this would never be inherited again,
Don't no
not even
trees
by
grow there or
in.
nothing.
It
Trees
won't
don't
even
grow there or
be.
nothing.
No, insects don't even live there. It has
Exactly.
no life at all there,
At all
and
on
it
that
cannot. It
motherfucker.
cannot produce any life form. It cannot be sustained in that
That's
part. You
crazy.
know what? And it's crazy because listen to this. You know who Saddam Hussein, the one that you said had Bushes said he had weapons of mass
Yeah.
killed them. Do you know he was trying to build that area up? You know what I'm saying? He was about to try
Mm.
to build that place up and go over there and build on and do this and that out of it, right? So God was
Right.
like, "Oh, okay, I got something for you." Boo boo boo. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. He's
You finna try to do something. You don't have no That's one thing. God not finna let nobody unfulfill his prophecy. You know what I'm saying? You're not
right.
finna undo his word, what he says. No, ain't no way.
Right. Right. Everything happening, he letting it happen. That deal. You know
It's
what
crazy how stuff happen, and then you see the weirdest pages pop up that you ain't never seen before.
I mean?
You see the weirdest pages pop up that you ain't never seen before. That they be popping up with the most opinion, and it be people you know. So on that note, it's 8:46, baby. 8 month I was born. 4 is that stump before the Kirk Franklin stump. 6 is the day I was born. PM. Nice talking to y'all tonight.
All
All the
Um,
right, you
time.
too, my Ash.
Yeah, all the time, yeah.
I'm about to put my music back on.
All
Wes,
right.
I'll holler at you, Wes.
For sure. Yeah. Hell yeah.
I'm about to turn my device off because this devices be sending off energy, baby. They send off energy. I'm about to turn my devices off, put my music back on, and cover that device up and tune out.
For
So
sure.
y'all can
Yeah.
make all the
Yeah.
look. Y'all can do all the clicking, the banging on pots, all the shit y'all want to do, baby. Cause I'll be tuned out, baby. I'll be in my own world. So y'all clicking and banging and tapping and doing all that extra shit for nothing. Y'all have a beautiful night. Stay blessed.
You
You too,
too.
my
God is
Ash.
All the time. Yeah.
great.
You too.
I'm gonna leave
Mm-hmm.
y'all, not y'all, but I'm gonna leave these pages that know how to show up at the right time, but it's the wrong time for them because they still ain't getting it. You feel me? I'm gonna leave them to marinate amongst themselves because, like I said, I'm already marinated, baby, by the grace of God and by God. Have a good night. God is good. God is great. God is number one. Don't ever forget that.
For sure.
Always,
Yeah.
always. But
Yeah.
Miss Lakers, I got a question for you. Um, I'm trying to find that I know he was a minister or a pastor, something like that. But anyways, he got burned. He got burned at the stake, but while he was being burned, he was preaching. Do you know the name of that man?
Hold on, Patricia. Where my Bible at?
Because
Mm.
he was preaching and burning at the
Katie,
same
bring me
time.
your phone so I can go online in my
Ain't it? I
Bible.
thought it was. I thought that was them brothers. I thought that was them brothers that they burned, and then they was in there. With
Real
the
phone.
fire didn't do nothing to them. The fire
Mm-mm.
No,
wasn't
no,
burning
no,
them.
no, no.
I'm not my gun, folks.
Those are the three.
I
That's
broke my gun.
Shadrach,
Eshak and
Abednego.
Abednego and
Oh
yeah.
yeah, me. That's the three Hebrew brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That they threw in the
What about
fire, but it
them?
didn't burn. It didn't
Oh
burn
yeah,
them.
they was sitting in the fire and they didn't burn. Yeah,
Yeah.
because they wouldn't curse. I mean, sin against God, and they
Yeah.
told them to burn
No,
if
they
they.
because they wanted because they didn't worship those idols.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
right.
And
They
then
wouldn't do right. That's still sin against God, idol
right,
worshiping.
right,
Hell
right.
yeah,
Because they
that's
were
still
like,
sin
we
That's
against
just like
God.
serve
when
Yep.
they
you're
put
no
Daniel.
idol.
Yeah, when they put Daniel in the lion's den. Look, that didn't work
Yeah.
either. Just
When
like
people
when
Right.
wanted
Daniel
something they
went
could
up
see, then
against.
people wanted something they could see.
Yeah, this is
They-
like
Huh?
when Daniel went up against Goliath. He killed him with a slingshot and a rock.
Yeah.
So and that just show you how powerful God is, because it actually was not Daniel that did any of that. It was with the help of God that they was able to
Yeah.
do any of
Right. But you
Right.
know
it.
that they were so sinner. I mean, all of them was so bad. Look what David did. David took another man's wife, had him
Listen,
killed
but
on the
this
front
is but
line.
just look, man. Psalms is my favorite. It's a Psalms 51. This that prayer that David does to God. I love this prayer to death. Like when I'm feeling down or like in a bad place or whatever, something I did that I knew I wasn't supposed to, I always go read Psalms 51. That
I'm
right
about to
there,
look it up. I'm about to look it up. You said Psalms 51?
yeah, the whole chapter. I'm finna go to it too. Because you keep asking me some stuff, and like I like to tell people where something at. I don't just go by, what I say. Even though I
Yeah.
don't, I've been reading the Bible since I was 5 years old. That was something that I grew up
Yeah.
on. So like, I don't read the Bible so many times, but that's one book I read over and over and over again. Like every day I read, chapters in the Bible. And
That
you know
have
what? No matter
mercy?
how many
Is
times I read it.
that have mercy on me, O Lord? Or oh
Yeah,
God,
yes, girl. That verse is the bomb. I'm about to read
according
it
to
from a
my
modern day
unfailing love,
technology.
according to your great compassion.
That's
Okay,
him asking God. Now listen to this. David was God always had David always said, no matter what he did, he might have done things, but he always was repentant. He repent from his heart, and he never did anything like maliciously. He didn't
Mm.
keep on doing it after he did it once, asked for forgiveness, and didn't do it again. That just like Saul was trying to kill David for years, and they was real good buddies. Saul was friends with David's father, and you know what I'm saying. So he had a relationship with David, but he Saul ended up being jealous of David because of David's relationship, with God. But in that one thing where Daniel wanted, was it Bathsheba? Was that who it was? Yeah, I believe it was Bathsheba. When he wanted his friend's wife, and Daniel knew he was doing wrong because he knew he wasn't supposed to sleep with a married woman. So what he
Right.
did was he sent her husband out in a war and put him on the
right.
front
Put
line.
him on the
And
front
so he
line.
knew him being on the front line, he would get killed. So now she's not a married woman anymore. But
Right.
God said you cannot intentionally take a wife from a husband. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's what he did. So he had, sinned against God for that. And he got punished when he sinned, when
He
he
sure
did
did
things.
because they had a baby and God yeah that baby that
Yeah.
baby died, and then God blessed them with a second child, and but he had to repent. He had to do a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
He did a
And that
lot of
just show you,
bad stuff.
but with all the stuff David did, and he was one of God's favorite people, you know what I'm saying? So that just
Yes.
show you how loving, if we look how many things he did, and the things he did do
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
God
was
didn't hang
horrible.
out with good people. God hung out with the sinners because he knew that those sinners they needed
Because
help.
he didn't go by what
Yeah.
he said, he went by what their heart condition was. So he knew what David's heart condition was.
The sinners,
You
the
know what
Right,
people
I'm
that need to be saved. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, the sinners the one need
right,
to be
right.
saved. So shit.
right.
Yeah.
Right. King said the black king of Cuba was the one that was tied to a pole and burned because he
Okay.
refused Christianity. I need to look that up to see if that's the
I'm gonna
one
look it
because
up too.
Yeah. I
Okay,
mean,
now
like, yeah.
listen,
the
but
black
listen to
king
this
of
though.
Cuba.
Listen how this is a prayer. The book of Psalms is nothing but all prayers, right?
Right. Yeah.
That's why it's called Psalm. Okay,
Right.
now listen to this. This is a psalm from David when Nathan, the prophet, came in to David after he had relations with Bathsheba, right? So this the prayer David did after he, cheated with Bathsheba.
That's
It
Psalms
says,
51.
Yeah, it says, "Show me favor, O God, according to your Lord love. Blot out my transgressions according to your great mercy. Thoroughly wash me from my error and cleanse me from my sin. For I am well aware of my transgressions, and my sin is always before me. Against you, you above all, I have sinned. What is bad in your eyes, I have done. Therefore, you are righteous when you speak. You are right in your judgment. Look, I was born guilty of error, and my mother conceived me in sin. Look, you find pleasure in truth in the inner person. Teach me inner teach my innermost self true wisdom. Pur- Purify me from my sin with so I will be clean. Wash me so that I will be whiter than snow. Let me hear sounds of joy and rejoicing, so that the bones you crush will rejoice. Turn your Turn your face away from my sins and wipe away all my errors. Create in me a pure heart, O God, and put within me a new spirit, a steadfast one. Do not cast me out from your presence, and do not take your Holy Spirit away from me. Restore to me the joy of your salvation. Stir within me a willingness to obey you. I would teach transgressors your way, so that sinners will return to you. Save me from blood guilt, O God, the God of my salvation, so that my tongue may joyfully declare your righteousness. O Jehovah, open my lips, so that my mouth may declare your praise. For you do not want a sacrifice, otherwise I would give it. You do not find delight in a whole burnt offering. The sacrifices pleasing to God are a broken spirit. That's what you were just saying, West Adam. A heart broken and crushed, O God, you would not reject. In your goodwill, do what is good for Zion. Build up the walls of Jerusalem. Then you would take delight in the sacrifices of righteousness, the burnt sacrifices and the whole offerings. Then bulls will be offered up on your altar. That right there is like no better way than you can ask God for forgiveness and
Right.
not to leave. He, like he said, don't turn your face away from me. You know what I'm saying? So he was begging him, like, please forgive me. I'm sorry for what I done. Just please, help me change, what I'm
Right.
going through. I love that scripture. I love that scripture.
Yes, yes, yes,
And
yes.
Wes Adams, exactly what you had said when he said his part. Then where did it go? When it said that what was that part I was just saying? Where is it? Uh, oh, um, a heartbroken and crushed. Oh God, you would not reject. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he tell you, like you said, he want those that like our sinners are messed up. Those the people, like, he turned to more and what I'm saying,
Yeah.
like
Hell yeah.
that
Yep.
he put that special time into because he know they needed more than some other people.
Exactly. Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Any more ice cream?
Yeah.
Because you got petition on that sheep thing, that tell the pastor he gone somewhere with that one. That was not right.
I know that's right, girl.
Where's Adam? I ain't never heard that one. You
No, I ain't never heard that one either. Like,
I
I was trying to get it, but
I
I ain't
think it
never
was
heard
I
that one.
think it was just his way to try to scare us because like I said, he was strictly from the streets and he just had that street type of,
But see,
like, yeah,
he
I'm
only
gonna
can
keep
scare
y'all in
you
order.
if you don't know the word. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I said
Yeah.
God tell you to learn the word for yourself and don't go by. He don't care who it is. If you don't go by nothing what nobody else say. And
Right.
then when we all read the Bible, God said everyone will have their own interpretation because
Right.
all of us do not. A lot of us, some people do think alike, but you're not gonna think our what we think is not a straight copy of what somebody else thinks. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
When I read something, you might read the same thing, and I got this out of it, but you'll get this out of it. But I can't say what you got out of it is wrong because that's the way you interpret what you read
Because
and what
everybody's experience
and
is
what
different.
right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, but and you can get stuff like that off, and because people don't read the Bible, you know what I'm saying? They wait for somebody else to tell them about God and this and that. When God tell
Right.
you to go to Him and get to know Him yourself, because He said when y'all stand in front of Me on Judgment Day, you stand by yourself. You don't stand with nobody else. So
Exactly.
that's why you
Yeah.
got to
Yeah.
have a relationship with Him and know Him on your own and not
Yeah.
nobody else.
Hmm.
Hmm. When I looked that up, King, that was back in 19 something. We're not talking about that. We're talking around like BC time and stuff. That's what I was talking about.
BC or
Yeah,
CD
he was
before
talking
Christ or after
about
Christ.
another king that was burned. But I think it says something about 1909 or something like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's not the one we're talking about. I thought
I'm
it
finna look
was.
that up. I'm finna
Yeah, I
look that
thought
up
it was, but
myself.
it was because I looked. I was trying to look while y'all were talking and stuff.
I
Um,
don't remember I don't remember none of the apostles being tied on the stake and burnt. Though I don't remember that.
When was
yeah,
the
But
last time you went to? When was the last time you went to church, Miss Patricia?
uh, I went to church about a couple of weeks ago, and I was gonna go. I was gonna go. I was gonna go today,
You
but
had your ear. You had your ear pods in. You had your.
no, what? Why you say that? You don't think I be listening?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Love the Bible stories. I love to
yeah,
hear.
but see, let me tell you what, Patricia. What it ain't about you going to service. That's not your what your downfall is. You need to read the Bible on your own and study it. Then because like I said, he was able to say that, and people probably thought that was real because if
Right.
you haven't read the Bible, you going and
Right.
then and see, that's what I'm saying. People put too much into preachers and elders and deacons,
Mm-hmm.
whatever you want to call them. You put your trust in him. You put your trust
They
in
only
God.
human. They just
And so
human.
Right.
Yeah. The people
Right.
just human.
right. And because
Yeah.
they don't read their Bible, you able to be told whatever because you don't get to know God yourself. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? By reading his word. So and like you said, them pastors know that because like they too one day, was listening and didn't know the word they self. So now they doing the same thing that somebody did to them to some other people.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Because when you can go to people think, oh, because I go to service or go to church or whatever, that's me getting to know God and learning about him, but it's not because somebody else is telling you their output on what they read or what they know
Right.
of
That's why
Yeah.
I
God and
was
his
saying that
word.
I didn't think that that was right. So what I did was when I started picking up the Bible, reading more like the prodigy son, I was like, okay, so I know next time if he ever talked about that story, he better come correct because now I already know because I read it from the start to the
Right.
finish, and I love that story too.
I love the
I
prodigal son story. But listen, okay, that was a perfect example how you said, how many times do God forgive us? Now listen, and then they just show you, listen, that God said when his people go astray, he cared more about the ones that left him than the ones that stayed, right?
Yeah.
Because the ones that stay, their faith is strong that they don't leave God. But the
Right.
ones that go astray, their faith is weak and needs strengthening because they left God and went astray. Like God say, he would never leave you, you would leave him. He don't leave you
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah. We the ones
Always,
that
right,
leave. We the ones
right.
that leave. Yeah.
yeah, we the one
We
that
the
leave
ones
him.
that. Yeah.
Right. So looking at prodigal son, what he did was he asked his dad for his inheritance early. You know what
Yep,
I'm
he
saying?
sure
And he
did.
went on and gave it to him. He went out there and spent it up and then came back crawling and begging. You know what I'm saying? And so the other son was mad because the daddy was taking him back and stuff, and was happy that he was found. Like he had this big feast. Go get the fattest and best goat,
And the
whatever,
fattest
lamb
cow.
and
Right,
whatever,
right,
and cook it. And we're gonna have this feast because his son is back. You know what I'm saying? And that's like
right.
with that. That's like with that one lost sheep story. Those two stories like coincide with each other. You know how God
Right.
say
Just
how he
like
is
they
about
say,
his
my
sheep,
son was lost and now he's
Yeah.
found.
right? And so
Yeah.
like you say that one child that stayed, you don't have to worry about that. You got to worry about that one that's always drifting off that you got to keep. And that's how God is. Listen, even if you serve God, He know I got these right here. They got their faith and their life all intact. But I got this crew over here that I got to put an extra hold on because they drifting off. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
And I
right,
got to
right.
keep when they drifting off. I got to be like, hey, come on now, what you doing? And reel you back in.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And not just like with
Hmm.
any of us, our faith get weak sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Because you go through different things in life, and God know that. That's just like, do you know about that story when Jesus rocking the boat and stuff? And they was like, telling Jesus, the storm, it's going to tear the boat apart or whatever.
Oh,
Jesus
yeah,
like,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
trying to sleep. I'm trying to. Jesus sound asleep, but they keep calling him, to tell him, that the storm is. When then Jesus was like, do you not,
He's
have
still
faith? Or where's your faith at? You know what I'm saying?
right.
Exactly.
If
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sleeping,
exactly.
if I'm sleeping, chilling, you look at my example and know that it's cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Why is you
yeah.
panicking?
Right,
Right,
And then
right.
when he
exactly. Because he
said,
had to go
you
right,
know,
because he had to actually go out there and say, "Be still." But they were
yeah,
in
he
there
told the sea to
tripping.
calm himself, and
Right,
then
right.
just like when Jesus was walking on the water, and it was either Peter or Paul. Probably was
It
Peter,
was
because Peter
Peter.
always
It was
doing
Peter.
something.
It was
Peter was
Peter.
like, "Oh, Father, let me do that." He was like, "Step off the boat. You're gonna be able to do it." He stepped off the boat. He was like, "Oh yeah," but then he
Because he
looked and
lost
realized
faith.
what he was
Right.
doing, and he started falling, sinking.
Right.
Right. He lost faith. He didn't think he could do it. He lost faith. Yeah. Right, right. He lost faith because he was like, wait a minute. I'm actually, yeah. And then he started getting scared.
Yeah, he got
Yeah.
scared. Like, what you scared for? But I told you I got you. I got you. He was like,
Right.
Exactly.
reach out your hand and get me. Reach out your hand and get me.
That's yeah. Hey,
And
that's
so that's
your
exactly
first mind,
what
your
God,
best mind.
right? That's
It,
exactly what He do to us in real life.
right.
When when we go through something, our faith get weak and we sinking. He still got
Right,
His right hand and be like, "Let's go. Get on up now. Come on. What you doing?
right, right. And if you really look
You don't
at
have no
it,
more faith in me than that. Let's
right,
go."
right. And you know what? If you really look at it, sometimes some of us we're actually like some of those people in the Bible, just living a different way, but
Why you think He
like
gave us those stories in the Bible so we can
Mm-hmm.
have examples of other humans
yep,
that
Right.
was like us, that they
Mm-hmm.
was humans and they was still able to have faith and be faithful and serve God. Those stories. That's why He said the Bible was written for teaching us, guiding us, for discipline, for teaching, teaching, discipline, and benefiting ourselves.
Yeah.
So
right. But you
Bible is
know,
for
there
when you do
was a lot of
something.
greedy people in the Bible too. There's a lot of them greedy people in the Bible that was just all for themselves. Remember that one that hid that gold, and God told him go
Hmm.
hide the gold, and
Oh
he went
yeah,
and
he
he hid
told
it.
him to go get everything. Don't touch none of the. He said, "Don't touch none of the spoil. Don't do this. Don't do that."
Right, right,
Oh
right.
yeah. And they went because they thought like didn't nobody else come with them or God couldn't see them. So when they got
Right. Yeah. That's crazy though.
Wes, you know what we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
When he said don't touch anything,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
I think
know everything.
he killed that whole family, right?
Yeah, yeah,
I
generations
thought so.
had to
I
suffer.
thought so.
But it's just all the stories.
He
That's
killed
why I
the
love the
kids
Bible.
too.
Yeah,
He
because
Yeah,
it
he
wiped
help
killed
you.
out the
Like
kids.
whole
it say
He
you. It
killed
generation.
help you.
kids, baby, everything.
It give you common sense. You know
Yes,
what I'm saying? It
yes.
help you with your common
Yes,
sense. It help you with all
yes,
kind of different stuff. Like
man.
yeah, you gotta
That's
pay
like the best
attention.
book ever written, like it said.
Yeah, it gets you on your
And then
tippy
everybody
toe.
try to say because you read the Bible, oh, you read the Bible, it was written by man. Well, God said it was interpreted by man. That's why when
Right,
you read Matthew, Mark, and Luke, them all, they was all that was the story about Jesus and when he died and everything, told by three or four different apostles, right? And every
right.
last one of them, when you read it, it's the same story, but it's told from every three or four different people perspective. So it's the same story, but it was told different ways
But
because
you still can't change the truth. Like you, even if
right, but
somebody
you still
rewrite
it's
it,
right. You
yeah,
still rewrite it. That's just
yeah,
like if you a secretary and you work for a boss and your boss tell you what he want a letter to say,
right,
what he wants to talk about, but you put it in your own words when you go write it. But it's
right.
still saying what your boss told you to put in it. You know what
Either
I'm
way it
saying?
go,
Talk
either way
about
it go. Yeah, either way it
right,
go.
the way
You
it go.
can't. The truth gonna always come out. Like
Right.
it don't matter who write it. Even if somebody do some some like messed up, they try and put themselves in there. They try and like switch it up in a bad way. They still the truth gonna still what I'm saying shout it through all that. Yeah,
So
Right.
yeah,
what's the
God
because
said his word
controversy?
God said his word would not ever the light would not ever go out with his
Right.
word. It would never be in the
So
dark.
what's this thing about? They have saying that God really white or is God really black? Because some people are saying that he's black.
No, they say God is a spirit, so no one has ever God has never ever had a color. It's Jesus they be debating whether Jesus was white or black because there's a description of Jesus in the Bible, okay? And when this
Hmm.
description of Jesus is given, it's not saying he blonde hair and blue eyes. It says that
yeah,
he has copper color hair that was like wool. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
Hmm.
And his skin was like a bronze or brazen complexion.
yeah,
So is that describing the Jesus y'all be seeing depicted everywhere?
yeah. Bronze
The
That
is the
is
color
gold,
of
not
a
the
penny.
Jesus
Bronze is
that
the
I
color of
see
a
hanging
penny.
in these
yeah, bronze is
houses
the
and
color of a
stuff.
penny,
Yeah,
huh?
bronze is the color of a penny.
What'd you say?
You said
What?
what?
Bronze
No, he
is
was
the color of a penny. They say
Bronze is the
he had
color
the
of a
same
penny.
color.
You said.
Yeah. Bronze is the color of penny. They say he had the skin of bronze. So the color of a penny is brown. If he had skin of bronze,
so what
it's
color was
brown.
Jesus then? By the
That's what
Bible description,
Jesus was brown. Jesus was brown skin. He was, you know what I'm saying? He was black.
he was a melanated man, right?
Right. Don't nobody
And
got
you said
hair
his
like
hair
wool but
was
black
of
people.
wool, so his
Yeah.
hair was very coarse.
Don't nobody have hair like that
Right.
but us, but black
With
people.
us, right.
Yeah.
And see, what people don't realize, even with the Israelites, God chosen people, who you think that was?
It
That
was
was
black
us.
people. Yeah, it was black
Yeah,
people. The Jewish
yeah,
people, the Jews that was out there, they was
yeah,
black. All it was all
yeah.
black.
And people don't. But see, no matter this, and when they was trying to build that temple to touch God, reach God, they say when God was like, okay, and he confused the languages, confused their speech where they couldn't
Right.
understand each other. That's where the different languages came in at. Okay.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
so, but if you ever look at it, even okay, listen, in this world, you either just melanated or non-melanated, or black and white, whatever you call it. But some people get offensive about that. Even if
Yeah.
you are, if even if you are of an age, now see, the only thing different is our culture. You know what I'm saying? Or our descent. If you are Asian descent, you can be white or melanated. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
can be, anything. You a Arabic. You can be a white Arabic or a melanated Arabic. You know what I'm saying?
Just like
Every
American Indian, just like American Indian or Indian. You
right,
can either
right,
be a regular red Indian or you can be a black Indian.
right. And so all them different cultures, like I said, when you just boil down to one simple thing, you either white or black. You might have different cultures and different descents, but you still just either white or black.
But it ain't no okay, like how you said it, you can make it it's an Asian and it's a black Asian. It ain't no white black people.
Right. Listen, the only thing you cannot, only thing, listen, we can make a white person. A white person can't make a black person.
Right, exactly.
We can make every race and cut. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
they cannot do it. And see, and that's why everybody talking. And that's why I said this world is flipped backwards. we all supposed to be even. You know what I'm saying? In God's eye, no one's supposed to be hard. Whereas they said white is better than black. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Okay, if we gonna go by earth wise, it's not. We're not going by God wise because God,
Yeah.
all of us equal to God. Okay,
White isn't
but
a
if you
color,
want
it's a background. White ain't even a color, it's a
yeah,
background.
white or right, white or there's no such thing as white or black. That's why I always be saying melanated. You know what I'm saying? But if we gonna just talk like the world talking right now, so listen, if you're white, you like I said, you cannot make a black person, but two black people can make a white person. Okay, so look
Yeah.
at this. If you think about like our makeup, I don't know how they got this twisted that we lower than them. There's no way. Our
No.
makeup of our body, we can go out in the sun without it damaging us.
Right.
Everything that was made was perfectly made for us on this earth to be us, like to be the greatest. This I'm just gonna say, like, and I'm not, just judging or being this what I'm just saying about the
Yeah.
things that you see in in the world. When it comes to medical stuff, they always everything streams off of us. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like
Right. Right. Right.
when they had this found this one part of to help treat cancer. It came off a black woman.
Right.
When it comes to anything, they always it stems off of us because our makeup is stronger than
Yeah.
theirs.
When they need stronger blood cells or different little things, they use
Yes,
our shit.
yes, yes.
Yeah, they use
Or
our
they
shit.
need something or they need something that can be used on them and us at the same time. Because you can use
Mm-hmm.
whatever from us on them. You can't use what's from them on us. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
exactly. Exactly.
And so that's why we're so valuable when it comes to stuff. And then look at just look at the sports. All the sports used to be mostly white back in the day. It did not get, but then once we start getting to that, back we're gonna just go, all the way back from, in baseball with Hank Aaron and all that. You think
Right.
about it, no sport got jumping or very popular and till we start doing them. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah.
Our
Yeah.
make
Hell yeah.
our makeup, I mean, nothing they can do compete with us. You know what I'm saying? We extra strong. We're fast. Our built structure. Just
We
okay.
jump
Look
higher. We jump higher. We
right.
do
Everything
everything.
we do 10 times better. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? That's because the power and the strength that we
Right.
have within our makeup and our genetics. You know what I'm saying? So there's no way you can't tell us we not his chosen people. Like that was back then because they was the same way. They was hard headed like we hard headed. Just everything. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and, but back to what I was trying to say something about our makeup. But it's just that it's a lot of things to just show that we just super, just
Everything is
good at
connected with the
whatever.
universe. Everything connected with the
Yeah,
like everything. Like you know what I'm saying? Like for them not to be able to stand in sun, that's something wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like you're supposed to be able to do that. They gotta put suntan on it, they gonna get skin cancer. Like how do you that's crazy. This shit is crazy. It's like you ain't even supposed to be here on Earth, or you know what I mean? You're not even
Yeah.
supposed to be here. You're supposed to be like in a cave or something. You're supposed to be hiding from the sun or something like.
And especially like those albinos. Now, see the albino tone thing. They can't even be out in no sun. Period.
Are they gonna squint? Their eyes gonna squint. They can't see in the sun
yeah.
type shit. Yeah. I had a homie that was albino. In the sun he got a squint. He can't see. Yeah. That's
Hmm.
yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Because they burn real easy, right?
Yeah. Just
Yeah,
like
all of
just
that. They
like
sensitive, real sensitive. You know what I'm saying? He
Mm.
got a black face, but he got a white skin, but with like black features. That should be crazy.
right.
Mm. Yeah. It's kind of weird how. And then their hair is different color, like albino. And sometimes they be like having a
I think it'd
the
be like
blonde hair.
orange or something, don't it? It's
Yeah,
Sometimes it be
blonde.
blonde hair,
blonde, yeah,
orange
blonde and
hair.
shit. It be blonde sometimes, like, or it be different shades of like light colors, like it be two tone and some shit like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because you got them people that be half like albino. You know, they got them big old spots on their body. They got the same kind of hair.
Right.
Hmm.
Yeah, they got the same kind of hair.
Right. Right.
And then they eye colors be that funny color, like. or whatever.
Yeah, some of their eye
Yeah,
colors change too.
yeah.
Like they'll
Yeah,
have green eyes and blue eye. I mean, just they just change colors.
but it's just us. There's that's just nothing about our makeup. Listen to this though. Whereas they try to make us, I mean, like this before they started doing this, it was a shame for the big old booty, us having the the lips, our lips was full,
Yeah.
our bodies were full, and then look what happened. It was so like in the modeling world, they only wanted skinny, tall people. You know what
Right,
I'm saying?
right, right, right.
And then okay, so now everybody want our features, especially their women. You know what I'm saying? They
Exactly.
women want our full lips to where they going to stick stuff inside their lips.
They
You know
putting
what I'm
Crisco in
saying?
their lips. They putting cooking
Right,
oil in their shit.
Oh
right.
yeah, oh yeah.
They they want our behinds to where
Yeah,
it's a whole family that start with the K. They hold up, listen.
yeah,
They was
yeah,
known. The whole family had our behinds except the one sister, the two three sisters.
yeah.
The ones that are model, but the rest of them all. And then it's another thing. All of them who they babies by, and
Black,
you
Yep,
yeah,
know
black
that.
black,
black dudes. Yep, you right.
Right.
black.
And their mom is even dating one, you know what I'm saying? Even though they're not
Yeah,
married. And you have to think about that. Look at that.
yeah.
They didn't want their own. They wanted and and then like sometimes I think about this like sickening in a little way kinda because like all they kids is like little trophy baby dolls they make them out to be. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
like
yeah.
what was your intention why you wanted I mean all of them got except the one
Right,
sister
right,
he was,
exactly. I
he
know
was
the
with a
ones you're
guy,
talking about.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yep, yep.
and but all the rest of them got little chocolate children. You
Yep,
know,
Right.
they sure do. Yep,
every last
yep.
one of them wanted
Yeah, that's
chocolate
probably that's
children.
probably to keep they lifeline going. You know what I'm saying? Like they keep it. If they keep watering it down with white people is gonna get weak after a while.
But
Right, right.
that's just like a little black. That's just like a little black girl, and she was given a white doll and a black doll. She wanted the white doll. She didn't want the black doll because they asked her why because she said she liked the hair.
Yeah, the hair, all of
Yeah,
that. You don't see the black doll on TV like that when they commercials. They advertise
right.
the white one. It's all you. Yeah, they separate that. They make it subconsciously that you already judging that your skin color is bad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but you know
It's
what?
already telling. It's already
And that was
programming you.
something that we need to understand that our hair does grow long like theirs. You know what I'm saying? And it can.
Right.
We might have a different texture, but we have all kinds of texture of hair. You know what
Right.
I'm
right.
saying? But then if you
Yeah.
look at them though, they was wearing extensions and weave way before we was wearing it. Way
Yeah.
Yep.
before we was wearing it. And them family I was just talking about, the one Kanye's wife, she was doing an interview one day and the interview person was like, how much of that hair is not yours? And she was like, well, my hair stops all the way up here and this hair go down there. But I bought it, so it's all mine. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Right.
they
Hmm.
even add stuff. They not satisfied their hair thin. Some of you know what
Right.
I'm saying? They
Yeah.
want it
Yeah.
thicker. You know what I'm saying? They our hair is thick. You know what I'm saying? It be thick and long. You
Right,
know?
but that's
So
another big business, though. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna keep it real with you. That's
Hair.
another
Yeah.
big
Yeah.
business.
Exactly. Yeah. It is
Wigs
hair.
and weave. That's
That's
another big
yeah.
business.
Then
That's
the
high
Asians
in
no,
making a
demand.
and
killing.
you
The
know
Everybody
Asians making a
wants
killing off that shit.
it's so funny because like when we always had it. So my mom used to be like, well, you can cut it off if you want to. But coming up, that was not in when I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? Wearing
Right.
weave stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
if you just didn't have, I'd be 58, so you ain't had no hair, you just didn't have none. You know what I'm saying? That was
Right.
just it. You know what I'm saying? The only people that had extensions and stuff like that, or wigs was mostly for older women. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Them wigs look like they look now. And then the extension was all just for, non-melanated people. You know what I'm saying? We weren't doing no extensions and weave, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that.
Right.
But but then when we did start doing it, we just got ridiculous with it. You know what I'm saying? But then it became when we got started doing it, it got super expensive. You know what I'm saying? Look at the level we took it to though. Anytime we
Yeah.
start doing something, it becomes great. You know what I'm
And
saying? Once we start
hmm
They
Go
control
ahead, Will.
100% of their market. For that hair, that that real Indian hair and all the hair that they selling.
Mhm.
Right.
The Asians got a 100% hold on that whole market. Like it's no black owned hair places. Like all of
No,
them are
we
owned
the
by
black
Asian
people,
people.
we go over there.
Right,
We
nigga. So
fly
we
over
get
there
it. They
to
make millions
China.
and trillions of
Right,
dollars off
right.
of
We
weaves
go
and
over
all of
there and
that
we
shit.
buy that beautiful hair. We sure do.
Man, this girl had like
But
a
I
24
can
inch.
say
She
this
paying like four or
honest.
500 for it, and then you got to pay like 300-400 just to put it in. You done pay like $900 for this whole hairdo.
Yep.
They
Man, they
spend more
making a
than that.
killing off that shit. Yeah, hell
I,
yeah, they
I have
do.
been I have been blessed that we don't have to have it. So me or my girls. But my what I was gonna say that every time we do something or touch it, it turns into um better than it was before. But the reason why we let them tell us that having the hair we have was not good enough. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That we had to have what they had.
it's bad
No,
hair. Like it's bad hair.
right.
Yeah,
Because if you go over to Africa and Jamaica and stuff, all that long, thick, pretty hair they have over there. You know what I'm
right. It's just
saying?
how you take care of it. You can have, everybody here
Right.
can be like that. It's just how you take care of it. What the shit you eat and shit
Exactly.
like that. Stuff
Right.
you eat and all that shit. Like you know what I'm saying. And you ain't gotta put no weave in your hair. I mean, no perm in your hair. None of that.
Right. And
Yeah.
You
that's the
got it.
thing.
Yeah.
I never
We
had a
get
perm.
enticed by these cute little hairstyles and stuff like that.
And
And
that
you
kill
have
your
that
hair.
long, pretty hair. Next thing you know, it's like, oh, I want my hair like this. Because sometimes people be like, I'm tired of doing all this long hair. Nothing with it when
Uh,
when it's hot and it can't hold the curl. I'm about to just get me a short little do. I'm about to cut all this shit off and just wear a short little and that's what happens.
Yeah, that shit's crazy. Them people make a gang of money off that shit though. Them people, it's people that just grow their hair out, and the ladies, their hair is all the way down to their ankles, down to their feet,
and they
and they
cut it
just cut it, and they
and
cut it
sell
and
it.
they sell it. Yeah, hell yeah,
Yeah, they cut it
yeah.
and they sell it. And I
And you
believe
throw it right in your
they
hair. You
make
throw it
good
right in your
money.
hair.
They make good money for that
They
because
make, they
they
make,
do that just to they grow their hair out just because they know that's money.
yeah, man. It's millions and trillions of dollars up into that.
And you know what? I seen a special on that weave here. They had went undercover. Do you know some? They was taking some of that hair off dead people, and
Yeah,
people was buying that stuff, and some people was getting sick. Some girls were buying this weed. It was a bad weed, but it was this company was buying, getting it off dead people, and cutting their hair off,
hair,
selling their
I mean,
hair.
horse hair, horse tails and shit. All of that shit. They
Uh-huh.
use all of that shit, and they got a whole man. That's crazy.
When you tell me you getting some virgin this and that hair, no, you're not.
Right,
You
it's
probably getting hair off
virgin,
a
it's
dead person.
premium.
Yeah,
But to me,
yeah.
it just seemed like it's all the same hair. I think they
Nah,
just throw those names on it and they just do the curls different.
some
Whether
of
it
that
be
shit is
Jerry
real human
curl,
hair.
pinky curl, deep
That's what she's
wave,
saying. It is. It come off humans. Yeah.
Some of that shit
it's
is
all
real human
human.
hair. Some of that shit ain't horse hair. That's some of that shit. That's what I'm saying. Some of that shit real human hair, and people buy that shit, and they be spending thousands of dollars for that shit.
For
You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
what?
right,
You can take it out and wash it and reuse it and shit like that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Yeah, it's real human hair.
right.
That
Because I think
Indian
synthetic
hair
hair
and all that
burns
shit.
faster. Synthetic hair burns faster than human.
And it looks stiffer than that hair. Than that,
Yeah, the
Yeah.
it don't look
texture.
real. Yeah, it don't
Right,
look real.
you could tell the human hair because it always has that type of brownish type of hue to it,
It
and
move like
the
it's human
and
hair.
the texture is a lot
Right.
softer than
You
the
use that the
synthetic.
horse hair, it's
Yeah.
gonna get
That's just
stuck. It's
like.
gonna get thick.
Yeah.
It's too like
That's just like I mean, well, because you seen my hair. To me, my hair remind me of that wet and wavy hair. You know what I'm saying? I'd be
Yeah,
like, I'm like, it be, it's so wavy, it's so curly. I'd be like, it get irritating sometimes having it. You know what I'm saying? To the point, my mom used to always say, she like, why you just wear your hair all over your head like that? I was wearing it natural, like because I never had a perm, never. And so, like, the big hair and puffing up, I've been, before people started doing it natural, I was already doing it. You know what I'm saying? I had been doing, look, when I was born, when they went afros back in the 70s or whatever, I just never left. I never left from that. I never left from it. You know what I'm saying?
mm.
I braid my own up or put it in a ponytail. I just didn't want to, I didn't have no time
So
for
Miss
no weed.
Lakers, let me ask you something. So you okay? So I know your hair is beautiful and everything. So back then, like when you were going to high school, did you have some jealous girls looking at you? Like if you went to the
Oh
bathroom to comb your
yeah,
hair?
yeah. But I was a fighter too, though. You know what I'm saying? So
Right,
then
right,
I
right.
ain't get trash. But I was petite anyway because I'm only 5'4" and I've been this height since I was like in the seventh grade. I ain't haven't got any taller. But yeah, but I hated that like we uh, we got accused of not being all the way black. You know what I'm saying? And like that what I didn't understand. You not only do you get rejected by your own race, you get rejected by the other races too. You know what I'm saying? Because you being mixed, and because my dad was biracial, you know what I'm saying? We end up, just having, but then my mom, dad was Puerto Rican and my mom's mom was Indian. You know what I'm saying? So we just had a whole lot of different stuff mixed in our parents to where I got it and my kids got it. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
you just can't help that. But when you coming up, when they know you got parents that's like of a mixed descent, they say that you're not, really black, and that's what they're like. Oh, you only got hair like that because you're not all the way black. No, because black people that's all that that don't have mixed parents can grow hair like that. That didn't make a difference because you can see kids that's mixed themselves and they don't even grow hair like that. You know what I'm saying? I haven't seen mixed kids with one parent white and one parent black, and the kids be bald heads. I don't know what. You ain't never seen that.
Yeah. Uh
So
huh.
yeah, it does happen. So it don't matter what race you are. You know what I'm saying? Your hair
Exactly.
just end up being what it's gonna be.
Right, right. You're right, Miss Laker. So, yeah. So that was it's been a pretty good evening. It's been a pretty good live stream, Miss Lakers.
Yeah, it sure was. Cause you about
Yeah.
to have
So
3 hours.
yeah. So I've been on here for 3 hours. So what I'm gonna do, Miss Lakers, is I'm gonna take a short break and I'm gonna come back and close out the show. All
All right, girl.
right, love
Girl,
y'all. Thank you for the
love
cash
you
app.
too, babe.
Okay, bye.
You welcome.
All right, everybody. All right, the show is over. The show is over. Thank you so much. I want to say thank you to my visor kings, my visor queens, and my visor honeys. And listen, y'all, I already know, sometimes, people are going to have their own opinion, this and that. Y'all seen that tonight. Even, I wanted to bring a little church. I wanted to bring a little church because sometimes we need that. Sometimes we need to give God a little bit of our time, and I think we had a little bit of church up here. I think, and I think it was good. Everybody participated. We even did turn it into a little Bible study, and it was all good. It was beautiful. Loved it, loved it, loved it. So, anyways, I want to thank you guys. Please, y'all keep your notifications on. Join the Visor Gang. It's only $3.99, or just make a small donation to the channel. Doesn't matter, whatever. I don't care. But anyways, y'all keep your notifications on because you just never know when I may come back in tomorrow. And I want to thank my panel too, my panel guests, Messiah, West, Adams, Miss Lakers. Thank you so much for the cash app. I love you. I love you, love you, love you. All right, girl. And listen, y'all keep your notifications on again because you just never know. Might come back on tomorrow. All right. I love y'all.